rock your body, yeah. Everybody, yeah. Rock your body right. Back streets back, alright. Hey, now, oh my God, we're back again. Brothers, sisters, everybody say, gonna bring the flame, I'll show.
I just realized I had 2 songs playing at once. Sorry about that. Give me 1 second, guys. We're gonna wait for more people to come in. Where's everyone at? I don't know. Yo, what's up, Dank? That's cool, Dank. Yep, doing pretty good, kid. Just took a little bit of a nap, and it's time to get yucking started. It's time to get started, boys. On the morality tier list. Ugh. I also got a Google Doc I can use as reference. I took a little bit of notes just in case I forget. Yeah, there we go, there we go, there we go, there we go. Wait. Thanks, Stank, I appreciate that. Alright, so what we're gonna do is rank the presidents based off morality, like the title says. S tier is going to be virtuous. Wait, no, S tier is gonna be pious. There we go. Pious. The pious. A tier is gonna be okay. Oh. Wow. Okay, let me just. There we go. Virtuous is gonna be A tier. S tier is gonna be pious. B tier is gonna be just. C tier is gonna be compromise, because some of these guys are just in the middle. Maybe like honestly, I don't know who's gonna be in the middle. I have no clue. D's gonna be corrupt, but not corrupt as in scandal necessarily. So, yo, what's up? Yo, hey, yo, Stallion, Dalton, what's up, Dalton? Dalton's in the chat. Yeah, so I'm doing pretty good, Dalton. We're gonna F tier is gonna be just damnation. Whoever's gonna go in F tier is just gonna be destined for hell. Wilson. Thanks, Dalton. Yeah, I got my yeah. You might join in, actually? Okay. Yo, everyone spam Dalton to join in, or he's stupid. Not even being awkward, man. I do this. I've probably done this like 50 times now, so. Yeah, everybody wants him in. Thanks to do it, to join in, right, Dink? NA, we don't need an NA. So, we're gonna delete this row. Okay, what do you guys think about the names? Yeah, I don't know why I have ads. I have ad block on right here, but I get ads. Could I inspect element, remove the ad? Okay. So guys, what do we do about the ads? I don't know if I should have chat on screen. I guess it fills in the little area there. Let me see if I can. Oh, what did I remove? Oh, wait. There we go. Ads are gone. Just like that. So, this is the tier list. We're gonna full screen this so you could obviously have the full view here. I don't know if Dalton's gonna join in here in a second. But yeah, I think we'll get started. So the criteria here is just gonna be ranking based off my own understanding, and whatever you guys bring up in the chat, I'll take into consideration. But it's gonna be basically, you know, have they lived a life that's right, which is obviously subjective. But maybe some of the factors I'll take in as Christian values, maybe. You know, have they smoked, drank alcohol, had slaves, you know? We're gonna take that into consideration, but you know, it's gonna be a little bit challenged because you know, in the 1700s, slavery was just everyone had slaves. All right, so if we get started here with the first president. So we have Washington. You know, he could be let's first talk about him, obviously, you know. First president of the United States, served 2 terms. Oh. I think Dalton wants to come in here. Give me a second. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Dalton. Sorry, guys. I'm seeing if I get Dalton in here. Yeah.
Hello?
Hello. Hey. Hey, what's up, Dalton?
You gotta include the audio, right?
No, you don't. They can hear you right now.
All right. Yeah, where's my webcam at? I need
Yeah, get one
webcam on the
then.
right side, you know?
Get a webcam then. All right, you take over the video. I'm done.
Okay.
joking.
You retire?
Yeah. Okay, what do you think about the tier
I'm
list
hearing
names?
everything twice.
That's awesome.
Washington?
No, the names. We got pious.
Oh. You're gonna have to help me
Virtuous.
define pious, man.
Like, it's kind of like virtuous, but like another level up.
I'll be the judge of that.
Okay,
Actually, Google will be the judge of that. Let's see. How do you spell it? Pious. Devoutly religious.
I mean, it's just kind of like a symbolism, you know. You obviously don't have to be religious to be moral, but you know.
Okay, how about we say ethically pious then?
Okay, I'm not gonna type that in, but you can still that.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so yeah. So down in Washington.
Yep. I'm gonna try not to eat. I'm eating chips, man. These chips are good. Washington. What I think his main defining fact, during his
Here's
presidency,
virtuous right here, boys. If you guys
his 2
wanna know
terms.
the definition.
You know, he gave up the 3rd term. I don't know the right word for that, but he passed the torch on, and he set a precedent for all the future presidents. So, I don't know, maybe that's humble. He gave up power, you know.
Yeah, I mean, he could have ran. He could have became king.
He could have
And he was
became king,
like,
yeah.
"No, let's not do this, boys. We need to actually have a democratic government and make sure people get a say into who becomes leader of their country."
It's like
But
integrity.
he did have slaves, and he pursued a runaway slave, Ona Judge. Ona Judge's escape. You heard of that?
I have not heard of that, but I
Yeah,
guess we
he
gotta bring that
actively
into
sought
account, huh?
to get her back, which is kind of weird. I mean, this is
Didn't
kind
he have
of
a wife?
Washington had a wife, Martha Washington, was her name.
But he also warned everyone the dangers of political parties. You know, he was the only independent
Yeah,
president, being unanimously selected as the first president of the United States. He warned the people, I think, on his last address to the union or whatnot, that hey, political parties are bad. And what do we have now? We have there's a word for it, but like dividing. You know, we're divided.
division. Yeah, so we have
Well, there's another word. I forget what it's called. I'll find it in a second. You talk.
clash, like clashing.
No, it's give me a second. I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, well, Dodds is looking that up. Apparently he also avoided Pennsylvania's gradual abolition law. Fugitive Slave Act of 1793 was used to his advantage. But his two-term president was very good. Oh! Someone brought his teeth was made out of the teeth of slaves, Dalton. I forgot about that one.
Is that true?
So yeah, it is. It is.
Jesus.
I think he had wooden teeth, but I also think
He didn't brush his teeth back then?
Yeah, that like
Bad dental
this is
hygiene.
hard. Okay, this is landing between just or compromise.
You think just and compromise?
Yeah, I'm probably leaning towards just.
I mean, where is he on a regular president's tier list? Obviously, this is morality, but he's S or A on.
He's S,
like-
always S.
So, are we taking into account his morality during his 8 years or his entire life?
It's not. No. His entire life. This is morality. Like you can. Hey, William Henry Harrison. Okay, I turn my light on so the light can be better.
Am I gonna get flashbanged? Oh, I'm
No.
flashbanged.
No, you're not.
Did I tell you look like a villain?
Yeah, because my hair and the slick back, and I also have a black.
I don't know, man. Yeah,
everything.
freaking-
Yeah. Okay, it's going at just. I would say. What do you think?
You think just ask the chat?
Chat. Hey, yo,
We got Abraham
chat.
Lincoln in the chat.
Oh. Abe Lincoln.
The word is partisanship, by the way.
We got some compromises. I mean, Dalton McKay just like, yeah, the chat wants this. Let's do that.
We got to take into their accounts, their ideas. We got slave teeth over here. That's an issue.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big issue. But I feel like the two-term thing he did is kind of like,
I think it balances out.
yeah. Oh, sorry about that.
I say just is fine. We got to compromise here.
Yeah, it might be like a
Thanks
low,
is compromise.
just.
We got K say compromise. Can we put it in between tiers? Or is that just too much?
In between, and then put the in between in the between. Yeah, just and then the in between and in between. Yeah, it just goes on forever.
It goes on forever and forever. Until it approaches zero. You learn that
Okay.
in calculus.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we could do a goal. What is this? 10 super chat. Wait, 5 super chats? Of an hour?
What's super chat?
Wait, I will become
What are you doing? I am honest, Abe.
I got a goal.
What's the goal?
5 super chats and I'll stream whoever sees what.
Oh, you're like put a president in whatever they say. Who do you think's the most moral guy? They put him in the
Wait, no.
damnation.
Yeah, damnation. Yeah, it's going up like yeah.
This is gonna be all right. We gotta hurry up. We got 47 presidents.
Yeah, it's
I
like
mean,
a
I'm not
minute
on
on
a time
each.
limit, but
It's
shit,
like a
this is gonna
test.
take forever.
It's like a test, yeah, like each
Oh, can I
question's a minute.
swear in here?
Yeah, you can yeah.
Uh-oh. Frickin', yeah, I'm getting put in
You can't say
damnation
the
now.
F slur, the N word, the
Okay,
R
come on, Danny.
word. No, you can't say that.
Never said that stuff in my life. Come on,
Yeah.
I'm a wholehearted Christian. I'm into pious. I mean, I'm joking.
Yeah. Potato Man agrees with us, put him in just because he didn't do the third term. Okay, let's move on. Adams opposed
John
slavery.
Adams.
He never had a slave in his life. Remember
He heavily opposed slavery too.
Yeah, he also defended a British soldier during the Boston Massacre. Remember that? He pursued law over the majority. Everyone is like, get that guy. He's like, guys, we need to be just here. So he's obviously has to be above just. Adams, right?
I would assume so. Yeah, he must have been a good guy.
But he
Because
did.
I do remember talking about that in U.S. history when we were talking about the Boston Massacre and how these soldiers just shot up these other guys, you know, Tea Party and stuff, all that stuff going on back then. The teacher was saying this is a great example of almost what now is like judicial review. The judges providing examples or what they call precedents for future court cases where they have to defend minorities even though the majority views one thing, you know. So he defended the British soldier even though the British soldier may have done something wrong. He needed a fair trial.
Yeah. So
that's high moral.
Yeah, but he did sign the Alien Sedition Act, remember?
Oh, that was the illegals?
Violated free speech, targeted immigrants.
Oh, no. Okay. I remember that. I thought that was the fourth president. I thought that was someone else.
That was Adams, you know.
He didn't like people speaking out against the government. I remember that.
Yeah, that what makes him really bad in the tier list. Like that makes it one thing is apparently the worst thing ever. I would actually put Adams virtuous, not gonna lie. I mean, during his time, he had no slaves.
What you just said?
What, the Alien Sedition Act?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
you just said like that's the worst thing ever, and you're like,
yeah, I know it's the worst thing ever. He would be like an A-tier president if he never did that.
A-tier morality?
Not morality, but president.
Oh, you just regular president? Was that his biggest problem?
Yeah, that was the biggest problem.
He only had one
ever.
term, right?
Yeah, he got defeated by Jefferson, probably because of the Alien Sedition Act.
He overstepped.
But
we can cut him some slack, right?
No slaves, and he was a just man. So he used to be a virtuous.
Was he a northerner or a southerner?
What do you mean?
Like, was he up in the north or was he down in the south? Because you know how the north,
he was up in the northeast.
Generally oppose slavery, and then down in the south, they're like, yeah, get them slaves.
He was the south really didn't have that much states, you know.
Oh, I guess later on. This is early into the government.
So let's talk about Wilson. We're not on him. We already know where he's going now. Okay, I think we put Adams virtuous. A tier. What do you think?
I agree with that.
Yeah. Now we got this is probably gonna be the first corrupt person, not gonna lie. We got Jefferson, you know, he created authored the Declaration of Independence, right?
Oh my God! Didn't he shoot Burr?
Nah, that was Burr shot Hamilton. Burr did not get shot. We're not doing vice president morality tier list. That guy would be damnation. Yeah, he is. Jefferson is kind of an EDP. He married into a slave who was 14, right? He had a relationship with a 14-year-old.
Oh my God!
Yeah. And he had kids with her, right?
Well, back then it was kind of normal, right?
Well,
after the women got their period,
This
they were
was
considered women.
This was still weird, bro. This is
obviously it's weird. He was a diplomat, though, right? In France a lot. He owned land over there and had a mansion or something.
That might be Franklin Benjamin, no? What's up, President?
I thought he was a diplomat too.
Yeah, but Jefferson was kind of this weird dude that had
some slave issues.
Yeah, he had 600 slaves, right? Around that many.
Mm-hmm.
He had slaves, right? But he also didn't want slavery to exist, so it's a contradiction. That guy's a walking contradiction.
Contradictory right there. What is that called? That's where you say when you smoke cigarettes, but you tell other people to not do it.
Yeah.
Hypocrisy. You're a hypocrite, right? Hypocrite.
Yeah, and contradictory.
There we go. But then you got to think about him with the Declaration of Independence. He cared about people's liberty, just like that one guy who said, "Give me liberty or give me death." Forgot his name, but he was one of the founding fathers. You know, at the Constitutional Convention of, and I don't remember the year. What was it? 17? No, I don't know. I give up.
It's okay. 72? I don't know.
I don't know. With his slave stuff, man, that really brings him down.
Yeah, that, no, the whole thing with that 14-year-old and he had 600 slaves, that really might put him in corrupt.
Jeez.
It could even be a damnation, bro. This could be a damnation.
You think it's that bad? We got to balance. What about all the good factors that he did? All the good stuff.
Yeah, but then again,
he got elected for 2 terms. People must have liked him.
I mean, Hitler stayed in power for a little bit, and he's probably.
Well, yeah, Hitler was that guy. Ooh, we should put him in pious, right? I'm joking.
Okay, pious. I also messed up the word. I was like pious.
Sorry, is that a Latin word?
Louis the Pious was basically I think he was a father of Charlemagne. Okay, I'm done talking. Jefferson.
We gotta come up with a choice.
I think it's gotta go corrupt, bro. I mean,
you think corrupt? What's the chat say?
We got damnations. We got compromises. We got he's a moral contradiction. We got F's, bro. He's gotta go. Like,
how about we just put him in compromise and compromise on it?
Okay, I think corrupt's good. This guy has a corrupt.
Hey, no, you're exhibiting tyranny.
Or Urban said, or Knox Polokius said Washington and Jefferson corrupt.
Washington as well?
Yeah, that's what Urban said. That's
Jesus.
We put him in corrupt. I mean, this dude literally had sexual relations with a 14-year-old. Like, if anything, this should be a damnation.
You can't justify that.
That might even be a damnation, bro. Honestly, we're gonna have to see. That might be a damnation. Did we put him to hell? And he was also a yucca theist.
You said 600 slaves, right?
No, he was also a theist too. I mean, if you want to count religious elements, is that you believe in a higher power like God, but he doesn't intervene with the universe. He sets in motion the parts, but he just like leaves.
Well, what's wrong about that?
I'm joking, but like if you want to include
this is his belief.
Damn that theist.
All right.
Or was it a deist? Was he a
there's
deist?
No balancing out his good stuff, and you know he did all these good things. Didn't he buy land? He bought he like annexed. I'm fucking losing it, dude.
Sorry,
I need
Jefferson's
back
a
up here.
deist.
Alaska? Who bought Alaska?
Johnson.
What did this guy
Andrew
do?
Johnson
Didn't he buy land?
Andrew Johnson, I think.
Hold on.
Potato Man, we kind of judging him on both. I mean, honestly. Okay, yeah, I think.
There we go.
What do you think about
the Louisiana Purchase? I had to look it up, dude, because I couldn't remember. That's literally like half of America at the time.
That's like presidency. That's not morality, really.
I know, but the morality of increasing the land, no. I don't know, man.
He might be a
Put him in damnation. 600 slaves is horrible.
And he dated the 14-year-old. Jefferson?
The 14-year-old that we know of.
That's how. He's in hell.
He's going out. Oh, poor guy.
How did Bro get the Louisiana Purchase? Okay.
James Madison.
Co-authored the Bill of Rights. He protected individual freedoms and promoted civil liberties, okay? But he did own slaves.
Constitutionalism.
And he didn't take action to actually, Reddit slavery. He just kind of let it go by. He avoided the issue entirely.
He pulled a Calvin.
Yeah.
Just chilled in the back.
So this guy also promoted civil liberties, which is actually pretty juicer.
Does he have any secrets?
Not really.
You think he had 700 slaves?
Isn't Jefferson like kind of a homosexual? It doesn't matter. He's a damnation already. He can't get worse than that.
We should create a tier, but no, there's got to be worse than him. Come on, create a tier below that. Can you create another one?
Yeah, but
eternal hell. What isn't that what damnation means?
Yeah, it's like this is already at the pit, bro. Wait, we should call D tier like sinful instead of corrupt. What do you think? like a sinner.
I think it fits better than corrupt, because corrupt would be, you know, if you're thinking about corruption, lying to the American people, especially during the Vietnam War, with Nixon
Hmm.
and everyone after him.
I'd put Madison compromise. Maybe he did own slaves. He could also be a just, but I don't think he lives all the way up to Washington. I think he lived like a kind of like a middle ground. You know,
I'd put him in just, man. What's wrong with him?
he did
What's bad?
own slaves, and avoided the issue. Never try to push out to, you know.
But how many slaves? We got to balance it out here, the good and the bad. You know, in Egyptian mythology, there's something where they weigh, they balance your good and bad and determine whether you go to hell or heaven, basically in their terms. I think Anubis does it since he's a god of death.
Mm.
So we got to balance the good and the bad. You can't just throw him in compromise. Say, yeah, he owned slaves, you know.
I think he had like 30 something. About I don't know.
I mean, everyone at the time had slaves. Everyone who was wealthy at the time had slaves.
Okay, he said someone said 100, but I also saw 37. Yeah.
Think about it. He was the father of the Constitution, all right? I'd put him above compromise at least.
Okay, you're right. We probably put him like below Washington.
Oh, do you want to do that order too?
Yeah.
Where we put him in the order of just? So Washington's like #1 on just right now.
Yeah, he's the leader of the just.
All right.
Okay, next up we got
James
Monroe.
Monroe.
You know, he supported the resettlement of slaves in America to put them into Liberia, which, you know, it's kind of like mixed, but I guess it was moral at the time. You know the Liberia when they like imported like or brought slaves over there.
From
Liberia.
Africa?
Yeah, in Africa they had like a settlement, a
Where
slave
they had the
settlement.
slave trade route?
No, it was a slave. It
Dude,
was
I
like
learned
they
about
put
that a long
free
time
slaves
ago.
in Liberia. They put free slaves in there. Freed ones.
This is what James Monroe did. He wanted to free the slaves in Liberia.
Yeah, but he did own slaves. But you know, he tried to do. He maintained unity during
He tried to balance it out.
Yeah.
Well,
But-
he had 2 terms. Must have been pretty decent.
Yeah, but at the beginning of his life, he did oppose it. So I guess he opposed it. He was kind of like a mini Jefferson, contradictory, you know. Well,
Opposed slavery, but
well,
still
it's
owned them.
better to be contradicting your beliefs than just being a full out pro-slavery guy, you know. Missouri Compromise happened under his watch. Yeah, I don't know. What do we put him at? How
I
many
think we
slaves
put him
are
in
there?
just again.
Monroe had as many as 250.
Oh my God.
Apparently, he did support abolition, though.
Oh, he wanted them to be not slaves,
Mm-hmm.
but then he owned 250.
Yeah.
This is just infinite contradictory. At least when we get past, I don't know at what point the president stopped owning slaves, but I could guarantee, you know, Abraham Lincoln, then we won't have to talk about slavery no more, at least them owning it. But yeah, back then, if you look at Dank's chat right there, slavery existed in different states and forms throughout almost all of human history, especially in Egypt, man. How do you think they built pyramids? Unless there was aliens, who knows? That's a different topic, different stream.
Yeah. Oh, my chest hurts a little bit. We put Monroe maybe in like compromise or low just.
I'd put him in just.
Okay, yeah.
I'd put him in the back of just. And you know what? I'd go as far because James Madison did so much to get the Constitution ratified. You know, he was the father of it. He helped in the Louisiana Purchase and the negotiation as well.
Mhm.
And he was the champion of the Bill of Rights, right?
Yeah.
So people wouldn't have, well, we don't know, but let's just assume that people wouldn't have them 10 amendments, the rights protecting them. You know, if it weren't for him and his Federalist Papers. So I'd put him above George Washington is what I'm trying to get.
Really?
Yep.
The guy who
Maybe
did not
even
want to
in
become
virtuous,
king.
too. I don't know. If we're going off of morality, you know. But can we tie him? Is that even a thing?
No.
Just put him in the next
over
tier,
another.
or put George Washington up to virtuous, but then
Ah,
it's fucking slave teeth, man. Like, why do you have to do? Come on, George Washington.
So, okay, Madison might have to go above because that slave teeth one's pretty bad. But also, the king thing, he didn't want to become king.
Yeah, well, this is hard to balance out.
I think maybe we just leave it like this.
All right, next president then.
John Quincy Adams, right? This might be like a pious man. I don't know. So he opposed slavery, right? Never owned slaves.
Anti-slavery.
So he's the opposite of his dad, kind of. Hold on. Yeah. So he fought for civil liberties, right? I know how he fought he was like he was kind of a political person after his presidency, and he fought slavery in
Yeah,
Congress.
he was a
until his
representative.
death. Yeah, so the whole time he opposed.
Did he
you
do
know.
it during his presidency, or did he stay away from that? So
I think it
people
was
didn't?
abolitionist during.
He was only one term. Didn't Jackson win the popular vote, but then John Quincy Adams won the, electoral college? Well, I think the only reason that probably happened.
Actually, it was the opposite.
If it was anyone
of what you
else,
just
John
said.
Quincy. Oh, it was the opposite?
Yeah. John Quincy Adams got the electoral vote, I think, off some compromise that was going on with damn, I don't remember his
And then
name.
Jackson got the popular vote, right?
Yep, yeah, Jackson got popular vote.
That's exactly what I said. Yeah, it was some kind of compromise. I remember talking about that in U.S. history.
He might be a pious.
But
man.
if it was any other guy running against John Quincy Adams, I think he would have won the popular vote and the electoral college easy because, yeah.
What do you think? Virtuous?
Virtuous or pious? Does he have any downsides? He didn't own no slaves if he opposed
Yeah.
it that much.
I don't think he really had any downsides.
We should put him in pious then.
Boom! First pious of the day. John Quincy
He fought
Adams.
slavery his entire life.
Yeah,
That's
until he yucking
morality
died.
right there.
Yeah. That's a strong-willed man. The most difficult choices take the strongest of wills, Stink said. That's pretty wise.
Wow. Put that in a quote. You know what? Look it up. See if he stole that from someone first.
I don't feel like doing all that, bro. Honestly, I wouldn't even care. I don't care. Okay, next we
Seventh
got the
president of the
polarizing
United
figure.
States of America. He fought the courts. He went against their decisions. I think that's already like a small boost down in the morality.
Yeah, I can't even bring it more down. You want to hear it?
How's that?
Enslaved many people, right? Signed the
Oh, the
Indian
Trail of
Removal
Tears.
Act. Yep, Trail of Tears. And he had violent temper, and he did a lot of duels. I mean, this
Oh
dude.
my god.
Yeah, yeah. I think he was devoutly religious too.
Didn't he try and get assassinated? People tried assassinating him.
Yeah, and
on
he beat
multiple
a guy with a
occasions, and he just
cane.
fucking he got them all.
Yeah.
He was a badass. I'll say that. But yeah, he was bad, as in morality bad.
Yeah, it's not as bad as Jefferson dating a 14-year-old.
If I had to compare any other president to him, I'd probably pick Theodore Roosevelt in terms of coolness, and then Donald Trump in terms of like just being mean.
Yeah. Jackson might be damnation.
I'd put him down there.
Yeah, he's doomed to hell. I think he's probably slightly better than Jefferson, maybe.
Yeah.
Worse. I mean, he did kill a lot of people.
I'd put him ahead of Jefferson, man. Did he own slaves like Jefferson?
Yeah,
600 slaves? Come on, you can't justify that.
Damnation he goes. So, Martin Van
All
Buren
right.
succeeding.
The infamous homeless
Jackson.
president.
Yeah. Got the
He was
sideburns.
homeless, dude.
Uh,
He was pretty partisan, right?
Yeah, I mean, kind of, He did carry on the Trail of Tears.
What, did he have the
which
Whig
is
Party?
No.
What was his party?
No, he was a Democrat. But, this guy's apparently opposed immediate abolition, but he did support slavery to preserve unity. So that's a matter of kind of like wisdom. Like, what's the best choice do I make here?
Well, when historians look at that past, they don't look at it like, yeah, he was just trying to be safe. They look at it, he did not care about the slavery, and it nearly led to the Civil War, didn't it?
Yeah.
So that puts him down.
I think that's a sinner.
I'd probably put him in center. Yep, there you go.
Someone in chat also said it, but I had that on my mind already. Sinner! First sinner of the tier list. We don't have a compromise yet? Damn.
William Henry Harrison. Dude
Yeah.
died immediately, right?
Did that whole speech. He actually could have died from the dirty, what is it? What is dirty water called? D infectious water.
Oh,
No.
you're talking about the dirty water that was in Washington
Yeah, what was it?
in the Capitol,
Yeah, but there's, for lack of
White House.
a better term, dirty water. That sounds so bad.
Yeah, dirty water,
Wait,
dude. They
no,
had dirty
there's another
water, and then
word.
they just kept poisoning him.
There's a better way
Well,
to
he was
say it.
out in the cold, right? So that's what got him the sickness.
Yeah.
It was pneumonia.
Yeah, so that
Poor
could have
guy.
that water in the White House that was absolutely foul could have killed Harrison, Polk, and Taylor early on. Maybe even like
Could
some
have
other
killed a lot of
presidents.
presidents.
Yeah.
We don't know. If they had better technology back then, they would have detected the water.
Yeah,
Everyone's
obviously.
drinking this dirty water. You think it was parasites in it? What was wrong with the water?
Mm.
You have to
Wait,
look more into
apparently
that. But
Harrison had a child with one of his slaves. Now, is that true?
uh-oh. Let me look this up. Did William Henry Harrison have a child with a slave? See, we got it's a theory, largely disregarded by historians. That's a possibility. Maybe it was an accusation.
Yeah, we can't say. Yeah, we can't make
We
assumptions
can't
here.
say for sure.
We're not going to take that into consideration. I don't know. No. But he did
Didn't
on.
he? So that speech he did, is that the longest one in history?
Mm-hmm.
Is it still the record though?
I think so. Yeah, I'd assume so.
Wasn't as long as the most recent filibuster. Have you heard about that most recent filibuster in the Senate?
Was no.
It was, I forgot the guy's name, but he was a Democrat and he was
Bernie
just talking
Sanders?
out against, no, not Bernie Sanders.
He did one of those.
Against everything bad that Trump was doing, and he spoke for like 25 or 24. I don't know. He spoke like over a day.
Damn.
He prepared for it too. He didn't even. Most of the filibusters, they just read off of dictionaries and stuff, and then they could call a junction or whatnot to stop it if enough of the Senate votes on it. But he broke the record by like a whole hour before, and it was set for many, many years. You know, that guy, he's probably not going to get his record broken for another 50 years, my guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Off topic.
Yeah. No, that's pretty fun. I think Bernie Sanders did something like that. But
Bernie Sanders is not a congressman. He wasn't in Senate, no?
Yeah.
Is Bernie
He's
Sanders
a
a political
senator
guy?
in
I thought he was some
Vermont.
kind of funny dude. Am I retarded or something?
Yeah, he's a senator
I
in
don't know.
Vermont.
I thought
Okay.
Bernie Sanders was like Bill Gates, you know, up with
No,
the
he's a
top
senator
guys
in
and
Vermont.
some
He ran
elitist
for
group.
president against Hillary Clinton and almost won the primary. Okay, let's move on, Dalton. We gotta move on. We gotta move on. We gotta talk. Okay,
William Henry Harrison, I put him in just or virtuous, man.
but I got some ideas, okay? Or
Mhm.
some suggestions to probably put him down. So he owns enslaved people.
He owns
He also
slaves?
fought Native Americans in brutal campaigns, right? So, like, you know, like
God.
War of 1812, take it out. What's that guy's name? Tekushmish?
Tecumseh Sherman?
Tecumseh. This, yeah, this Native American guy. He might be a compromise, honestly.
Mm. We don't know about much of the good things he did because he was only in
Yeah.
there a month.
And he, yeah. I mean, he fought for his country. That's pretty cool.
He was a soldier.
Yeah. He was a soldier. He was a soldier. Yeah.
Well, not all soldiers are good people. We know that. All right. William Henry Harrison, you think compromise then? The first compromise? All right. Number 10, John Tyler.
John Tyler, you want to take this one or you want me to take it?
10th president, okay?
Yeah.
That's already a milestone right there. Like, we got 10 presidents.
Yeah, like Harrison dies out of nowhere. We got the 10th president.
I don't know about many of the bad things he did. I do know that one of the more notable things he did in legislation was he pushed through Congress something about getting the vice president, you know, making a line, basically, so if president
Line
is
succession?
incapacitated or, yeah, after William Henry Harrison passed, he had to set that precedent. So the vice president takes over, and when the president's not capable, and then, you know, the president pro tempore or speaker of the House,
Yeah. But
Yep.
someone's talking about Tyler already, which I was gonna get on as a traitor. Okay, let's talk about that. So he enslaved many people. He was openly pro-slavery. So this guy, he was I think he was a Democrat, a Whig, then an Independent. Like he got exiled from the Whigs or something. I don't know. But he joined the Confederacy post-presidency and was elected to the Confederate Congress died before serving now. He strongly opposed abolition. So this guy was a traitor and he joined the Confederacy. But if you compare him to like
Jesus.
Jackson and Jefferson, that's not that bad compared. I think that might be like a low sinner.
I mean, going against the own
16
country that you
kids?
served as.
Yeah, but having 16 kids is not. I'm not. How is that bad? I think. I mean, he had multiple wives, but he didn't cheat on any of them.
John Tyler. Look at him. He looks like a butler.
It says maybe more slaves apparently. That's probably another assumption though. He said he looks like a butler. Yeah, it kind of does.
I
can
mean,
look
if he
it
had
up,
that
though.
many kids, man, probably did have some with
Yeah,
slaves.
let's
Who
put him in low
knows?
sinner. Actually, maybe higher, lower. Oops.
I don't know, Danny.
What do we do?
Look at the chat right there. Even Jackson was strongly against secession, seceding from the Union. Isn't that one of the highest crimes you could have as traitor to your country in
Treason.
America?
It is treason then.
I'd put him in damnation, dude. You're going to serve as president of the United States for 4 years, right? You lead the country. Well, back then you didn't have as much power as president, as what people believe now. The president has a lot of power. But still, you lead the country, and then later the Civil War happens. You're like, yep, I'm going to join the enemy. I'm going to oppose the country that I was serving president as. It's like,
United States was also a traitor to Britain.
okay, but that's clear. They were under tyrannical rule.
Yeah, the 1%
Tax the hell
tax
out
was
of 'em.
really 1% tax, bro. That was really something.
At 1%, yeah, they really got him. I mean, they had soldiers quartering in their homes, no?
Yeah, and then they did like the Fourth Amendment or something.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, Matt.
All right.
Matt said, "Danny, do a Palpatine impression when he say treason." So it is treason then. Yeah.
Sound like Yoda.
Wait, hold on.
He
Do
was the
it.
old guy in the chair. Yeah, he said that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. James K. Polk.
It's off topic again.
Yeah. We got Matthew to chat. Don't say hi to Matthew.
Matthew McConaughey, the guy from
Yeah.
school.
Yeah. Yeah. You see him in the
Or from
Discord a
your
couple
school.
times. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
And so, yeah, was he the guy we played Roblox with that one time?
No, we never played Roblox with this guy.
Okay.
We got
there was some
Marshall
weird
Law
guy
in
we
chat.
played
We got
with,
some
so.
new people coming in. But
It's
we have
good.
to,
You're
we have
getting
some people to
popular.
debate. Why is Washington Solo is a cherry tree the big of the deal?
We already go back in the stream. You'll be able to see.
Yeah.
But I can give you a quick overview. He owned his issue with slaves. He had slave teeth. Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah. I mean, slave. He put.
Back me up, Danny. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah. He basically just grabbed enslaved people's teeth and he used it for his self benefit or something like that. Kennedy in the chat.
I mean, he is higher up on the list if you think about it. The middle, right in between just and compromise. He's on the top 50%. Because he refused the third term. People wanted him to run again. They would have kept on electing him, and he could have been king. But he said, "I'm going to step down. I'm going to go back home, and I need a farm." And then he had his blood clotting, or what do they call it, bloodletting, and he died.
Yep. I mean, come on, people. People
Okay.
back in the days were so eccentric, bro. Just illogical.
Watch, you got to drain that bad blood from you.
Yeah.
All right, we got to move on. James K. Polk.
James K. Polk. So he was kind of like this. He slaved people throughout his life, okay? He started the Mexican-American War, but in my opinion, that was one of the greatest things that ever happened to America. Was
Got
the
us extra
Mexican-American War.
land.
Yeah. Which I'm not going to really say that's immoral, or immoral. So I'm not gonna
It's
take
just
that
good
part into
presidency
consideration.
stuff.
Yeah.
He did step down. He didn't want to run again. You know, he wasn't power hungry. He did what he wanted to do and he got out of there.
Yeah. So yeah, this guy's he's definitely not a power hungry guy like FDR.
Did he own slaves?
He did own slaves. Yeah.
Mm.
He was
I think we
politically
may
aggressive
be
though.
taking the slavery stuff too much to heart, but I don't know. It is morality, and we're going off of what we know now. Back then, you know, obviously everyone had slaves.
Yeah.
I've already said this. Everyone wealthy had slaves. So
I don't think my ancestors ever had slaves. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I
the
don't think.
man, yeah, from Germany.
Yeah, Adam Frederick Helmer.
They just raided all the land. Them Nordic people. Mine too, Danny. Me and you. Yep.
Well, we got a quote. The whole
Get the
world's
Swedish
a
blood.
birthday cake, so take a piece, but not too much. George Harrison. What'd
What
you
if
say,
I'm
Don?
fat and I love cake?
What'd you say, Don?
Huh?
About the
I said
slavery?
oh no, I said so we may be taking it too much to, you know, like impacting their spot on this ranking tier list too much. Because back then, during this time period, all the wealthy people had slaves.
Of course. But
We could just say we're basing it off of morality now. If
I mean,
these guys existed now, you know.
some of these guys opposed slavery yet had slaves, so they knew it was wrong, yet they still owned slaves.
What is wrong and what is right?
But James K. Polk, I'd have put him compromised. You know, there's not really anything. He was devout, I guess, but
Well, he was a really good president, as is, right? Just at least getting us the land.
I'd put him above
That's not the
Harrison,
morality.
because
there.
Harrison apparently he might have, you know, had kids with slaves.
Yeah.
Yeah, but let's move on. Moving on to Zachary Taylor, also had slaves.
Wait. Hold on.
Ah.
No, never mind. All
So
right, Zachary
Taylor, this guy he also had slaves. Probably died from the
dirty water?
Yeah, dirty water. He took
Dirty
a
water,
moderate stance
poor guy.
on slavery expansion. So he was like, guys, the compromise of 1850. I don't remember.
Well, it's not exactly a moderate stance. He opposed expanding it. He didn't. He wanted to stop where it was. He didn't want it to get out of hand. Did he own slaves himself?
Yes.
Every president owned slaves, dude. Talking about all these old guys. Oh, he kept the Union together. You
Yeah.
got Martin Van Buren almost. No, was it John Quincy Adams? I'm confusing my numbers now.
But apparently we got news flash. John Adams did not have slaves. Help me out, Dalton.
I'm thinking. Where's John Adams ranked at? Where's his
Virtuous,
little
so he
picture
might
on-
just go up again.
Hold on.
Wait, I thought we did say
See what I'm
we have
asking you?
slaves.
Because I'm not looking up all the
Wait, are we getting
information.
martial law? Wait, are you talking to us? Are we getting gaslighted? Did we ever say what Adams
Who
had
else
slaves?
is he talking
I don't
to?
think
He
we ever
said,
had
yeah,
slaves.
he did not own slaves. Publicly opposed
Yeah.
slavery.
Yeah, that's what we said. We said that. Did we accidentally?
That's probably why he's ranked so high. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
he's
Oh,
up there. Just
we
leave him up
ranked
there.
him below because the Alien Sedition Act. Remember?
Mm.
Yeah. I don't think we ever stated that he had slaves.
No, we said that he didn't have slaves. Yes.
Yeah. But anyways, Taylor, he had slaves. He took a moderate stance on slavery expansion, so he's not full on like imperialistic on slavery.
Wasn't he a soldier as well?
Yeah, he was also a soldier. He fought
Dude,
in the
he just looks like he's
Mexican-American
part
War.
of
That's
the-
how he actually became president, because of the Mexican-American War. He was one of the leading figures in there. Winfield
What did he
Scott was
get
up
done
there.
in his little time in office?
Compromise of 1850, which was bad.
That's a bad thing. Mm.
Yeah, it was illegal there. Yeah.
Should we put him in compromise then?
Yeah, compromise. Not really anything to add.
I
We
put
could
him
right
in the
here.
middle or at the bottom.
put him in the middle.
All right, moving on. Millard Fillmore.
So he signed and enforced the Fugitive Slave Act. Remember, you know what that is?
I'm trying to think. Was it about this Dred Scott?
Perhaps. Keep
Is that
going.
later on?
Who's Dred Scott?
where it was a Dred Scott. It was a famous court case that declared slaves property because he escaped slavery. He
Yeah.
lived a free man up in the North States for like 10 years or so, and then someone went up there, found his ass, and said, "You're my slave." And then they got to court, and he was like, "I've been free for 10 years," and then they put his ass back in slavery and called him property. It's a bad. It's a court case in the Supreme Court that at the time they had to choose that, but it was very unpopular. Now, I don't know if that's what this compromise was about. That could be a completely different topic.
Yeah. That is the Fugitive Slave Act. Some guy said y'all were saying back then everybody owned slaves that was rich. That's not true.
I think that's what I was saying. He's attacking me.
Wait, did you say that everyone owned slaves back then was rich? Is that what you said?
I said basically everyone back then that had, that was wealthy owned slaves. I guess not everyone, but
Maybe like a
let's
higher
see.
quantity.
What
amount
was
of
the
slaves?
number? The number, the majority. They came up with the 3/5 to count the votes in the South with slaves as part of the population. What was that? I don't know the fucking word, but the number of non-slaves and the number of slaves in the United States entirely. Like over all of those
Oh yeah,
over the years.
3/5.
What is
You think
the
about 3/5 compromise?
No, I'm using that as an example. I'm losing my words, man. I need some backup here.
Are you
I need
are
to
you,
do some research. Hold
are you
on.
talking about like the census or something? Like how many people count? How many slaves count as a
Yeah, how
person?
many slaves were there back then compared to people that weren't slaves?
Uh, well, you need a specific time period.
Around 1800 to 1900, I'd say, or 1964,
Make sure you guys like to stream, boys. Make sure you like to stream.
See.
Yeah, but let's go on the middle of the film anyways, because we just yeah. So
Okay,
he
so I'm saying about a
opposed.
tenth of the population.
Yeah, he opposed slavery, but he valued to have the Union stay intact above all else. And he later ran as a nativist with the Know Nothing parties. So, Fugitive Slave Act. I don't know, man. I mean, passed in 1793 and 1850. I mean, that's kind of bad, dude. It's like
Do we
that's.
have any great things from him that could balance out this stuff? Because then I'd put him at the bottom of
And he's a pretty
compromise or
good-looking guy,
sinner.
apparently.
Okay,
That's
that's
what I
not
mean, like,
morality. You can't judge off of appearance.
So it said whether or not you had money didn't determine if you owned slaves. It was more about geography, which is why we had the Civil War.
Down in the South, if they had farms, they needed people running the farms.
They were like, "Hey, if we get rid of slaves, guys, we're gonna be economically not stable." Okay, bro, I don't care. I'm gonna get rid of slaves. I don't care if you're gonna
I think that is a valid argument, but still, it's so immoral.
No, you shouldn't. Yeah, but you shouldn't use
It's
economics
horrible.
to
Like,
determine
just come
a
up with
fate
better
of.
technology like they did,
Yeah.
Start building them tractors. They didn't really have motors back then, but I'm pretty sure they had plows. They could have had more kids, had the kids run the fields.
Yeah. This guy said, "I think some of what we're missing is the details of their personal lives."
Should we start touching on that?
I mean, that's
What
what
was the
we're kinda
relationship with his wife? Did he beat him? Beat her?
doing. We can't.
That's going really into detail.
I don't think
We
they're
have
really gonna. Yeah.
45 presidents to go over. I know there's 47, but we got Grover Cleveland twice, Donald Trump twice now. We're gonna be here all night.
Okay, Middle Fillmore. I think it goes in like compromise, like a low compromise, maybe.
Yeah, he doesn't have any very redeeming factors, but not any damnation.
Yeah.
Franklin Pierce, arguably one of the most handsome presidents.
Yeah.
Look at his hair.
Franklin the Handsome. So you want me to take this one?
Sure.
So he
Kansas,
sympathized
Nebraska.
with pro-slavery ideas, right? Just ideals, I guess. Yeah. He was an avid alcoholic, so this guy drank a lot of alcohol. He even said there's nothing to do but to get drunk. When his son Benjamin died. Yeah, so this guy was an alcoholic. After he lost his son, he saw his son get decapitated by a train.
How does that even happen?
I don't know. It happened though.
So that's a coping mechanism. Then.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you're gonna go to alcoholic, bro. He might be a sinner, honestly.
Poor guy had demons. You got to give him the
Poor-
benefit of the doubt. Imagine you seen your mother and father's head gone by a train, flying away. What would you do?
I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. Yeah, you might start drinking alcohol. Who knows?
He might be a sinner though. This guy's an avid alcoholic, pro-slavery South, sympathize with them.
Was it his policies with the Kansas-Nebraska
Yep.
Act that led to, every state that then joined the Union and the new land that America was getting was either a slave state or a free state?
Yep. Practically, yeah, practically.
So he set the precedent for the new states joining. Yeah, because that's around when politics were getting very, very heated. Lincoln had to do, had to be very careful in what was going on.
Well, I'm gonna put him at sinner.
Because if they had too many slave states, the slave states would have too much power in Congress. So they tried balancing out. If he sympathized with the South, then yeah, that put his ass down there.
Yeah, put his ass down there.
James Buchanan.
The dough face looks like a piece of dough.
We got a bad president here.
Yeah, we have arguably the worst.
We're going off of
president in the United
morality,
States,
though.
yeah.
I think the morality, his inaction, in and within itself is bad morale.
Yeah, so
Like if you're gonna sit back and do nothing, it's like, come on.
yeah, so he defended slavery, he did nothing to stop this secession from the southern states. Where's President Murley and politically, perhaps? I mean, apparently. But he was celibate. He did not have a wife.
Yeah, he probably
might
had a
have
gay
been
lover.
gay. He was apparently he was
That's going against your
scandal-free. Yet
religious
there is
beliefs?
kind of a scandal between him and William Rufus King. You know, so this guy could be a homosexual. There's nothing wrong with that, right? I mean, the Bible, might differ from it. But he fell
Civil
on the...
War started under his term.
Yeah,
didn't it? Or
literally.
Did it start
I mean,
after?
yeah. So you might be just like a sinner.
I think damnation.
Damnation.
Unless he was completely unprepared for the job, how did he get elected? Like, why is he doing nothing to try and keep the Union together?
I mean, the only reason he won is because Millard Fillmore, that guy has such a weird name, Millard Fillmore. He basically split the vote between, he was a know-nothing candidate. He split the vote with John C. Fremont, so it gave it to James Buchanan. Yeah, John C. Fremont would have been a decent president compared to Buchanan, just saying.
Buchanan should have never been elected.
Yeah, so he might be in damnation because he's also homosexual.
I just put him down there because of how little he did. I don't know about his personal affairs in his regular life, but...
Is he going to hell?
Yeah, it was just...
I mean...
Yeah. If you ask anybody who knows anything about history and the president, history of the United States, they're going to say James Buchanan was a horrible president, which that has to put his morale down. It's not like he opposed slavery. He let the South secede. He didn't put his foot down and say, hey, you guys got to stay. But then again, I don't think there was any governing documents that said, you can't leave the Union. It was kind of like a league of friendships, even after the Constitutional Convention, and we came up with, what we have now. I don't think there's anything outlined in there that says no seceding. I'm not sure, though. I could be wrong. Okay. So he might have just been like, oh, they could do what they want. But still, bad morale. He's down the list.
Okay.
Next president.
Next, Abraham Lincoln. I don't think there's much to say. We put him in pious.
Okay. You don't want to talk about his good things?
Well, yeah, we're going to talk about it. I just say, like, no.
I'd put him in top of pious. With how much effort he put in toward ending slavery and winning the war. He had to make sure everything was right. You know how much negotiation he had to do with Congress and get people to try and pass his proclamation of the thing?
Emancipation.
Emancipation?
Emancipation. Proclamation, emancipation.
Emancipation Proclamation. Doesn't matter how you say it. It's the same thing.
Yeah, no. Okay, Lincoln did change over time. He started to realize that, like, yeah, we're going to need to... He did oppose Polk's Mexican-American War that he kind of basically started. Yeah, but Lincoln opposed slavery, obviously. He was, he evolved on racial issues.
He was awesome.
So, yeah, he evolved on it.
If we
He was
could have him
humble,
as
honest,
president now,
principled, and a
that'd be
martyr
pretty
for
awesome.
justice. Yeah, this guy's S tier.
Okay, now when he died, we have Mr. Andrew Johnson, arguably another very, very bad president.
Yeah, racist, undermined
He was
Reconstruction.
racist?
I mean, this guy was a racist. Okay,
Jesus.
he vetoed civil rights laws, and yeah, he was corruption. I mean,
Do you think the South was influencing his decisions to be more lenient on them? Or he just didn't care?
I don't know, but I don't know where he's going on Damnation. Is he like the worst one?
What do we got down there in Damnation?
We got a lot of figures in here, bro. Oh my god.
We got Thomas Jefferson, Andrew Jackson,
What are the American citizens elected for president,
John
bro?
Tyler, James Buchanan.
I feel like James Buchanan should be John Tyler's higher.
Worse.
Wait, is John Tyler higher? He's a traitor. But James Buchanan literally did nothing. This is like the biggest event ever. Jackson, Trail of Tears.
How about we
Jefferson.
put Johnson in between second place, right behind Tyler. We leave James Buchanan where he is.
But Andrew Johnson vetoed civil rights laws.
And dude was a traitor.
John Tyler's a traitor, yeah,
So I don't think you can get worse than traitor. I mean, you'd have to really stack up
Jefferson,
the felonies,
14-year-old.
the bad things. Jefferson's at the bottom now. Oh no, Danny, we're getting divided.
Yeah, what do we do?
Put Andrew Jackson as the least damnation. Then he was a cool guy,
Trail of Tears, that was like a terrible event, but I think we would put him above. I mean, he literally killed. I mean, these guys did nothing. They sat around and let the Civil War happen.
I think at some point we're gonna get too many guys in the damnation. We can't rank which one is the worst damnation, so we just leave them all even.
Is Jefferson worse or?
Wait, now how are you doing? The farthest to the right is the worst, or the furthest to the left is the worst?
Furthest to the right's worse. If you load.
Oh, I thought you were doing it the other way.
No, because if S tier, if you're highest on pious, right, you're the best.
I know, but then if you're highest on damnation, you're the worst. Then no,
no,
or you're just going in complete.
We're doing it in order, so from the lowest of damnation
I
to the highest.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So what do you think about this then?
I say Thomas. No, I wouldn't put James Buchanan as the very worst. I'd have either Andrew Johnson or Thomas Jefferson. This is morality.
Okay, what do you think about this then?
Move. Yeah, right there.
Like this?
Yeah.
Oh, you can see me? Hey, God.
I forget that you're a little bit delayed.
Yeah.
Or the stream is delayed. I got you on the big screen, so I can see everything. All right, we got to move on to the next president.
Yeah, before we die. So I never said how's your date on?
Huh? Oh, my day's awesome. I finally have some breathing room with this college stuff. Just relax a little bit.
Yes. I'm sorry to hear what's been going on.
Well, a solution may have been made. I cannot discuss it though because of classified documents.
Classified documents, you say?
Yep. So, Ulysses S. Grant served 2 terms. We do have to bring in the fact that he was an alcoholic, and he nearly got kicked out of something for being an alcoholic.
Yeah, but
military, right?
He wasn't really a alcoholic per se, He didn't really struggle with it as much as you think he would. But he was a heavy cigar smoker. He fought for black rights during the Reconstruction and crushed the KKK. He owned this. He owned one slave person.
Oh, didn't he free a slave?
Yeah. I think he inherited.
He was like a friend with a slave, right?
Yeah. But I feel like being a heavy cigar smoker might have to be moral. Maybe is that a wisdom? Would that be different for?
Cigar people who smoke cigars are awesome.
But he
Alright.
got throat cancer
The
after. So.
Terminator. I forget his name because my mind is in a different place right now.
RoboCop.
No, fucking oh.
Oh, remember
Ooh,
that
I can tell you the
RoboCop
country he's
scene
from,
where like
kinda,
it
not
was just
really.
his lungs and his like brain and his like face.
I do remember that.
Yeah, that's fucking scary.
I was
dude.
a little kid, dude.
That was weird. Thinking,
That shit
oh my god, there's
traumatized me.
nothing left.
What is his name, Danny? He was governor of California. I can't remember his name because
Gavin Newsom?
I already said my brain's in a different place. No, big weightlifting guy, pumping iron, Arnold Schwarzenegger. There we go.
Oh, Schwartz. Yeah.
Schwartz. Yeah, he was. What was I comparing him to here? What was I?
Cigar smoking.
Why was I bringing
Terminator?
Yeah, cigar smoking. There you go. He's an avid cigar smoker. A lot of people who have pretty good money because cigars cost a whole bunch, especially if you're going to be smoking them a whole lot. You know, they smoke cigars. How is that bad morally?
I mean, it is causing.
I'd say alcohol is worse than that.
I mean, it is causing you to, yeah. Okay, yeah. Let's keep moving. I struggle with alcoholism. Alcoholism. Yeah.
So
Especially in the
everything is
1850s.
good other than his alcoholism.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, but
owning a
listen to
slave
this.
for a little bit of
We're
time.
gonna this is gonna boost him up, okay? So
Uh-huh.
he was honest, but tolerated corruption administration. So his administration was corrupt. That's why people put him in D tier sometimes. But this is the best part in his life ever. He wrote his memoirs, right?
Mhm.
While dying. So he finished it 3 days. He finished it, and 3 days later he died. This provided stable income for his family, and they lived well off. So the last few, he just wanted his family to live well off.
So he wrote his entire life in the 3 days before his death.
Yeah.
He was slaving away writing. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. He made sure his family is well off. That shows dedication, devotion to his family and his wife.
So he's like a workaholic.
Yeah, workaholic and
Especially since he was
Yeah.
a general. We didn't even talk about that, you know. He helped win the Civil War.
Oh yeah. I mean, he did
He was a great general.
he might be virtuous.
I'd put him in the bottom of pious, dude.
I mean, he was an avid beast, alcohol, cigars.
Ah, yeah, dude, virtuous.
Do you put him at the top of virtuous?
I'd put him behind
Adam's
that little guy right there.
Adam, no guy right there. Next, we got my boy Hayes. He was
Rutherford B.
religious and he
Hayes.
was moral, apparently. I mean, we don't know that yet. We're gonna see. Anti-slavery, did not drink, smoke, or gamble. Ended
He
Reconstruction.
ended the Reconstruction. Oh,
Yeah,
there
he
you
had
go.
to. I mean, he literally. It was either that or what's the guy he ran against? Tilden. Tilden, yeah, was gonna win and just ended anyway. So he got a compromise. It did harm Black Americans, but
Do you think you're gonna put him in compromise?
yeah,
I
it did
think that
support
actually sounds right.
civil service reform though. You have to bring up the burning of Georgia. Isn't that Sherman? Also, I'm not really gonna rank Grant's military stuff. Like, I know he sent apparently people say he sent all of his troops in, just like a meat shields. Just died, but that's war,
Well,
man.
how'd they win the war then? I don't know.
Yeah, it's war. Take the Elka-Feds. Yeah.
They didn't have at the tactics at the time, you know, they were used to older weapons and now they had more automatic, faster firing weapons. So that was the Civil War was the bloodiest war because of it. These guys were not prepared.
Yeah, apparently he approved Sherman's actions of burning Atlanta or the Georgia homes and civilians' homes and
There
farms.
any justification behind that?
There has to be some justification behind it, no?
Unless he was just completely immoral.
I guess, you gotta do what you gotta do to win. I mean,
I'd put him in compromise.
no, this is Grant. Hayes is like, we're talking about Grant now.
Oh, I was
Yeah.
just talking about Rutherford B. Hayes.
But we keep Grant in there. We keep him at virtuous.
Grant's got to stay up there, man. Grant, he did so many good things, you know, morally right things, as opposed to minor immoral
I'd
things.
argue to put Hayes in just because he didn't smoke, gamble, drink, but he didn't really have anything bad.
Oh, he
So-
made it for harder. He made it harder for black people to get their rights.
I mean, the thing was gonna happen anyway. The losing that election, it was either lose the election or end reconstruction.
He had to make a choice. He had to make a compromise. That means you put him in compromise. I'm joking. I'm fine with
I
his
think got
placement.
top just. Is it top of just?
But then you're putting him above George Washington.
Okay, we put him.
That's
like,
got to be a
little lower.
problem. George Washington's got to be the leader of just. Put him. Yeah,
leader.
right there.
Okay, Garfield. He was a devout Christian. Like this guy was like the most Christian president ever. He was an abolitionist, right? He wanted to reform.
He only served a couple months,
Yeah.
right? Was it 3 months?
Yeah, and the rest of his months he was bedridden. Yeah. He wanted to reform morality. Yeah, just like make sure slavery equals bad. Opposed political corruption. Supported civil rights. Assassinated only months into his presidency. He was high intellectual, so he was like this guy was humility
smart.
too and strong ethics. Yeah, this guy might be pious.
This is pretty decent. Did he have any bad downsides?
Mm-mm. It's just only
would
dying a
judge
couple
that.
months. He didn't really have anything bad. What do you think, Don?
Well, what about during his life?
I think he was just raised good. There's nothing wrong with his
Did we get the Star Root scandal?
under him.
Apparently. Bribery, bid rigging.
Oh, let me see.
72. Yeah, right after the election of James A. Garfield, there was some money scandals going on in the government. Was that him? Did you hold on a second?
Wait, apparently he
Did
had
you
an
place
affair.
Rutherford B. Hayes? Oh, you did. Okay, they just got
Apparently,
similar beards.
he had an affair in his early into his marriage.
Uh-oh. How early? How long were they together before the marriage?
Dude, his wife, Lucretia, is like juicer. I don't know how you could cheat on that. So he expressed deep remorse for it. They reconciled, and by all accounts, he was a faithful and devoted husband afterward.
Oh, so they got back together?
Yeah, he
So
repented.
he gained to lost.
He was ambitious. Yeah. Despite like taking though, like he had an affair with his wife.
You're gonna put him in just then? He repented. He did all that. He did some pretty good things.
Yeah. What about low? You want to put him above Washington?
No. No one goes above Washington. It's impossible.
I mean, with Hayes, bro.
Washington's awesome.
Put him right next to Hayes. Garfield right next to Hayes.
Yeah, I'm fine right there.
I mean, only cheating on his wife. You could.
They got back together. He made it
Yeah.
right. He repented and believed in the gospel, brother.
Yeah, it's like no better than Grant when he drank alcohol. I guess I don't know.
Okay, well, Grant did more things than Grant was there 4 years. Or was he there 8 years?
I
He
think
had
I
two
put him at
terms, right?
virtuous. I think Garfield became a better man. He had one mistake.
You're
though.
gonna put him in virtuous? All right.
Put him low. Do we put him above?
Other
Grant?
than the money scandals,
That doesn't really count.
it doesn't really count. You're just gonna. Oh, all right. There was enough evidence. He's in virtuous.
Do we put him above Grant or right here?
I stay right there behind Grant.
We got my boy Chester, Arthur? So he's
He worked towards civil rights, didn't he? Civil service rights.
yeah, the Pendleton Act, yeah. He dressed lavishly apparently. Yeah, that's cool.
Oh, so he was fancy. That makes me think he had
battled
secrets.
kidney cancer disease without seeking sympathy or re-election. So he had kidney disease. He got like 2 years after he got like out of office.
He doesn't have any very bad things, does he?
Yeah, I mean, Seems like, and apparently it was a corrupt party machine, whatever that means.
Hold on a second.
Oh, Jackson.
I'd say near the back of just compromise.
Who? Okay. Right here.
I think that's fine. Yeah.
Chinese Exclusion Act. I forgot about that one. You know the Chinese Exclusion Act? Basically, like Asian Chinese equal bad in America. That's gonna put him down.
The only really famous thing I know about that was during the World War II, during FDR.
It's Japanese, not Chinese.
Oh,
Put
I'm
Chester
a bad guy.
leader of the compromises.
all right.
So what's a Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. Grover Cleveland, he's like, this guy's probably just already damnation.
2 terms, non-consecutive.
Yeah, I mean, he fathered a child out of wedlock, and he was honest in office, helping the poor, very limited government over compassion.
I think he was gluttonous and greedy with his
Yeah,
money.
Grover was also EDP. He took care of this child, right? And as soon as she grew up, like she was like above 18, he married her.
He married his own child?
No, not his own child. Like he was like a little bit like of a guardian, like CK3 guardian type stuff.
Oh, he married an adopted child?
I guess so. You kind of, yeah, you put it that way, yeah. So
Mm.
yeah, he was already like, he was old and like she was like a baby, and then he took care of her. By the time she turned over 18, he went in. So
He
this
was just
guy-
waiting.
This guy's kind of an EDP, bro. I might put him in center.
That's
Is
the
it-
down. I'd put him in center immediately for that, but we got to look at his good stuff as well.
Put him.
Which I think what I'm about to say is probably gonna just keep him in center.
I'll put him in the middle. What do you think?
He liked money. He vetoed a lot of bills that he saw as wasteful
Put him leader of the
spending.
sinners.
So he didn't want the government to go into more debt, you know. But then again,
Yeah.
yep. He did bad things by keeping money as well. Them soldiers who fought in the Civil War, they didn't get some of their money because of his vetoing and stuff. The pensions.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's essentially, yeah. So
We already got him placed. He's fine where he is.
someone said
Benjamin
James Polk
Harrison.
was not a compromise. You
James
can go
Polk
back in that
was-
video, but essentially what we said. Dalton, you want to take it from here?
Huh? I can't remember what we said.
So, yes, the Mexican-American War, some say it was unjust, some say it was justified, but it was really sort of it was for the better of the country, frankly, and it was really good, and we needed that land out west, so. It essentially helped the future of Americans' generations. He cared about his descendants. But yeah, he
He
did
did
own
have to
slaves, but
compromise.
so did Washington, so we gotta put him in compromise, therefore.
And thereof.
Yeah, we got my boy Benjamin Harrison. He was honest, upright, and he was deeply religious. Tried to pass civil rights legislation, but he failed due to Congress. Apparently, he was cold in personality.
Cold, like the way he spoke.
Yeah.
Mm. That's got to be an unsoftful trait,
What
no?
does that even mean? What is human iceberg?
He didn't work well with Congress or the Senate then, did he?
I mean, yeah, he couldn't really work well with Congress, but he
I don't
opposed
think that's a
corruption.
moral thing.
Yeah, that's the kind of like more absurd.
It's just what it was, you know.
Yes,
It was a tough nut to crack. He tried getting the black people their rights. didn't work.
He just spoke up against for black rights, and he opposed lynching. So I think we put him
Lynching
in
was
just.
horrible.
I think we put
You
him
know,
like
one thing, I think I'll wait till later in the presidents to talk about it.
put him above Hayes. I
Yeah.
still don't like
He
that.
he gave a good solid effort.
Yeah. Now went back to Benjamin
Okay,
Harrison.
back to Grover Cleveland.
All right, Grover Cleveland. Sorry, yeah, I was gonna say.
He's already been put on, so let's go.
Yeah,
25, William McKinley.
He was a devout Methodist. That's Protestant. He avoided alcohol, gambling, swearing. Served in the Civil War, expansionist, Spanish-American War, Addicts, Philippines, yeah. Treated people with kindness and dignity, but he was assassinated in 1901. Before he died, I think he said, he told us, he was talking with us, he wanted to send a message to his wife. He said something, I don't remember what it was, though. He was like, oh no, my wife is going to be so sad after I die. Yeah, he's like, tell my wife I love her. Oh.
It wasn't that bad.
Yeah, he's probably compromised, if anything, It's just not really anything good nor bad. Yeah.
Shouldn't we put him at the back of Justin?
I was
Or
thinking
the top of compromise?
I think at the top of compromise, he might be the new leader.
All right.
New leader of the
I mean, he
compromise.
did get assassinated, though, right?
Mm-hmm. He died for his country.
He died for his country. Well, someone must have killed him because they didn't like what he was doing. But, I guess that's not morality on the context.
Yeah. So.
All right, Mr. Bull Moose Party.
Infamous Teddy Roosevelt. Teddy Roosevelt. So
He went against Did he go against court decisions, or like when he was in his military? Didn't he go against generals' decisions or something?
Say that again.
Was Theodore Roosevelt in the military? Yes or no?
Yes, he was in the Spanish-American War.
Didn't he go against his higher ups, their decisions?
I don't remember.
I swear I seen some kind of example of that in the Teddy Roosevelt show.
I mean, there was this scene where he took the Yucatan. I don't know if that was true or not.
Maybe it was that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, during his presidency, didn't he form the FDA?
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, but
he wanted to end all the illegal activities.
Brownsville affair.
An affair?
So, yeah, this is a affair. So, a group of black soldiers in Brownsville, Texas were falsely accused of shooting a white bartender. Without due process, Roosevelt dishonorably discharged 167 black soldiers. Yeah. So that's the only bad thing during his presidency, or just being.
So he kicked them out without a fair trial.
Yeah.
Kicked them out of the military.
But Booker T. Washington dinner. He had dinner with Booker T. Washington.
You talk about his hunting.
Yeah, it was a hunt. Yeah, he was like a.
He didn't overhunt, did he?
He was kind of a racist, Teddy Roosevelt in a way.
Uh-oh.
It's just he believed in Anglo-Saxon superiority. Yeah, we got
That's
Panama.
with the Germans, no?
Anglo-Saxons, the English. He loved nature, big ego. I mean, he created ego.
Yeah, he tried going for a third term, too. He wanted power.
Yeah.
I'd put him in compromise.
But, he cared a lot about his daughter. Oh yeah, he was in a bar and then this guy was bullying him, and Teddy Roosevelt stood up and punched him in the face and knocked him out. That was in a Teddy Roosevelt show. Yeah, he knocked some dude out that was bullying him.
He knocks him out. He fought the monopolies too.
Yeah,
back then the big oils.
Yeah.
I don't know if
That's
is
good.
that too early, or I think it was around that time.
Yeah, it was
This
during
is
his
when
presidency.
they were paying their workers so low money. They were taking in all the income, all the money. That's why they became monopolies. They became too powerful, and he didn't like that. So I think the two really good things he did, fighting monopolies and forming the FDA, So that's obviously good. It's gonna put him up, but then he's got them.
He loved nature too.
He went past the free trial, the fair trial. Oh yeah, he was a good hunter.
I want him to be pious, but he's not gonna go there.
He's not going in pious. I don't even think he's going in virtuous. If you're gonna stick him anywhere, I'd say just.
Yeah, put him like above Washington or below.
So I gotta go use the bathroom right now. You can be on your own for a bit.
Chat, what's your guys' what do you guys think? Yeah, I mean, again, just would be a good. I want him to be like virtuous, but it's he's just not going there. Teddy Roosevelt is just not
back.
going virtuous. Okay, it's yeah.
Just like George Washington's only in just. You know, he was a great president. People rank him as very high in the president tier list.
Yeah,
because
I
of all
forgot
the
to
good
add
things he
everyone
did,
in
but
Discord, so
still, this is morality tier list.
yeah, we're gonna have to.
Oh,
put
you
him
forgot to get more viewers in here?
Yeah, I forgot to put at everyone in my Discord news, so I put it out again. So yeah, Teddy Roosevelt is gonna go like above Washington, or is he above Washington?
I'd say above Washington. He didn't have no slaves. Now he's the new leader of just.
Okay, next we got the fatty.
Fattest guy ever.
Gluttonous, bro. It's already a sin.
Gluttony is a sin, but are we going against? It doesn't even matter the Christian values or any religious values. When you eat food like that, it really is gluttonous, and that's like, you know, it's kind of like alcohol. You're, man, I can't think of big words right now. I'm simple-minded. You're going against yourself, essentially. It's like disrespect for yourself. That picture right there, it almost looks like Theodore Roosevelt, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's like an older, fatter version of him. I think it's because of the mustache and glasses and the parted hair.
Yeah. So he was
All right, well,
kind, he was
besides that-
non-racist, opposed extreme imperialism, didn't enjoy politics, judicial-minded, no major scandals, became Chief Justice, serving with fairness and dignity. But he was gluttonous, so he might be like virtuous, or what?
Well, he wasn't the best leader. Being a fat guy, that probably put his self-esteem down. He couldn't take charge, essentially. He
Yeah.
didn't have the confidence to say, you know, put his foot down and say, hey, man, this racial segregation stuff, this is pretty bad.
We're really gonna put this guy below Washington and Teddy Roosevelt, who were. I feel like this truly is mixed. It's so hard to rank this. I mean,
I know. We need a lot more insight into these guys' lives and everything. Well, hey, we're doing okay, you know. We got George Washington at the. Sorry, not George Washington. Abraham Lincoln. He's pious at the top. You know, it's pretty decent.
so where do we put Taft?
I'd still put him in the just one. It's not like he had any scandals or horrible, you know, immoral things.
Where's he go? Like the top of it? I mean,
You choose that for yourself. I'd put him around near
he's
the
better-
top, close
is he
to the
better
middle.
than Washington? Stood down, but he also had slaves. Imagine like someone is better than you morally, but they own slaves. Like Washington had slaves, bro.
Well, they're more than 100 years apart. Think about it. These guys are more than 100 years apart. So obviously there's going to be the time difference here. Now we're just saying, yeah, whoever owns a slave is going to be damnation. Just throw them all down there. Throw
Okay.
all the first 15 presidents down into damnation because of it. It's like, you know,
Okay,
we
put him
can't
below
we
Washington.
can't take that into too much consideration.
Next, we
Okay.
got the infamous Woodrow Wilson.
The nerd. Look
He
at
was
him. He looks like
deeply
a Harvard
religious,
professor.
but he basically was racist. He was openly racist. He resegregated the federal offices. He did support League of Nations, you know, trying to like
There
get
we
like
go.
this, yeah.
They
What?
want to make the world a better place.
He
We
suppressed free
gotta
speech
keep
though,
in
the
mind
Espionage
Woodrow
Sedition
Wilson
Acts.
served during World War One.
Yeah.
Didn't League of Nations never happened, right? Or is that something else? Or they didn't get his 10 points, or they only got a couple of them, or whatever it was.
League of Nations did happen. It was succeeded by succeeded by NATO
They
after
changed
World
it.
War II. But yeah, Espionage Sedition Acts viewed themselves as morally righteous, but acted with intolerance. So like, yeah, I'm right, guys, but I'm not. So what is it called when you? What is it called when you think you're making the better decision on everyone? What is the word for that? Self-righteousness.
Entitled?
Self-righteousness.
Righteousness?
Yeah, being self-righteous. So Wilson was basically self-righteous.
That's kind of a bad thing.
Yeah.
Self-proclaimed.
So he's going to damnation. Where at?
You want to put him in damnation?
Yeah, he's a race. He was racist during like the early 1900s, bro.
I'd put him in sinner then. Yeah, he was racist. That's his main
suppressed
problem.
free speech.
He got us through World War One.
Yeah, guess what? I mean, dude did
Alright.
not.
I'd
Okay.
put him at the back of sinner. I
Wait,
wouldn't put him in
we forgot to
damnation.
include something. Teddy Roosevelt
What is it?
also supported giving women the right to vote. And Woodrow Wilson did not want to give the women the right to vote. But it happened during his time because I think his wife had a say in it, and also they just like there was women protesting out in the White House, bro. So he was like, "Fine, you could vote." He didn't do it out of his own thing. I don't really think he just did
He
it
just
because
didn't like it, but he had to.
He might be like a damnation, bro. He resegregated
So he had
the yucca
strong
federal officer.
ideals, bad ones, racism and segregation, not having women the right to vote.
He's going to hell. Boom.
All right.
He's like below. Where he's a leader of the damnations.
Yeah, I'd put him there. If it's just based on all of his thoughts and him, segregating the federal workplace, it can't be as bad as what these other guys did in Damnation.
Yeah. I can't wait till we get to the modern era because I'm going to talk about
Oh, that's
abortion
gonna
a
be
lot.
awesome.
I'm talking about abortion a lot. Like we're gonna have.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Warren G. Harding.
Oh, so yeah, remember him? Remember he said like he wanted to be if he was a woman he'd had all the babies.
Who?
Warren G. Harding said like if he was a woman he'd get pregnant a lot.
That was him?
Yeah, he was him.
I thought that was Gerald Ford.
No, it's Harding. Harding dude's kind of like he's good looking, bro. Hey, Dalton, do you know who Mr. Rodriguez is from middle school? Lincoln Middle School.
This is completely off topic.
Yeah, you know who that is, huh?
No, I don't.
Ah, dang it. Well, it doesn't matter what I say anymore. So Roy G. Harding he was personally kind. He was liked by many, you know. But Teapot Dome. He's like, Teapot Dome going on? Let's ignore it. He did, apparently he did have an affair with a teenage, yeah, he had an affair with someone. He had a kid with them. I think later it was proven to be actually right. So someone is descended from Harding. He drank during Prohibition, gambled, and fathered a child out the wedlock. He admitted he was not up to the job.
That's adultery.
He was like, guys, not gonna lie, I'm not fit to be president, and then he died.
You think it was the dirty water?
No, I don't know. Yeah, so.
Yep.
Where's he? Is he a sinner?
I'd put him in sinner. Based on his sex life. Just say that.
Yeah, I think he might be like below here though, right? I mean, he didn't have slaves. Put him like above Buren.
Did Buren cheat on his non-existent wife?
So he owns. What's worse, owning
I
slaves
don't
or
know.
cheating on
Man.
your
You
wife?
have a kid out of wedlock doesn't seem that bad, but if you're already married to a woman, you have a kid. Now that's that's bad.
So is he like worse of the sinners?
I don't know. I just leave him where he is. We got to move on, Danny.
But Cleveland also.
We got one of your favorites coming up next.
What about?
You excited?
So we keep it like this then.
Yeah.
Cleveland also had, but he had sexual relations with that 18-year-old.
Look at the chat. All I see is K. K's a real one. He's staying here the
Yeah.
entire time. He's a cheater, dude. Keep him in center. Guy stays
I'm gonna
there.
put him above Beerin though.
You want to make him
Trail of Tears, bro.
even better?
Put him right there. That's good.
Yeah. All right. That's
Okay.
fine. Yeah, that's good.
We got one of my favorite presidents. So
Calvin Coolidge, Silent Cal, 1.5 terms.
1.5 term, yeah, 6 years. So this guy's honest, religious. His autobiography is pretty good, yeah.
He went bowling with some other guy.
Oh no, he was like he was working out. He's actually working. Yeah, he's working out. Calvin Coolidge workout.
Was he? Do you think he was very representative of the modern American white man at the time? Because I don't know, he looked like it.
He supported women's rights. Yeah, he supported women's rights. His wife, she was like those people that do. She did like the sign language for deaf people. Yeah, that's his wife though. But he avoided corruption and scandal, right? After Harding, Teapot Dome is just like, apparently he didn't do little for civil rights, but he did oppose lynching. So, and also, the KKK dropped down in numbers, hefty numbers during his time. So he must have did.
Do you think that's because of Calvin Coolidge, or did it just happen?
He started like, yeah, I mean.
So yeah, he gave it the green light. He said, "FBI, go behind everyone's backs, take these yuckers out."
Yeah, he lived simple. He was a temperate man. He didn't want power. He actually weakened the presidency's power. He just like. Yeah, he didn't really want power, bro. He didn't run for another term. He did the 10 years.
It's kind of a good thing there.
But
then now he's right before the Great Depression. Literally, like he ended his second term. As soon as the Great Depression happened, almost. So, is anything that he did during his term? Do you think that led to
not
the Great
really?
Depression,
I mean,
and that would make his morality
a lot of
low?
people said it did. But now historians are starting to say, like, it's probably not Calvin Coolidge causing the Great Depression.
I don't think it is either. I think it's just America was expanding after World War I. They were getting the 20s, the Roaring 20s, what they call it, and they didn't know about the stock market and how trends happen. If you're going up, you're going up, you're going up, and you don't have any securities like we have now with the FDIC or whatever it's called. Banks are insured up to like $250,000, $500,000 a person, and then the stock market crashes because they didn't know what would happen like we do now. They kept expanding. Too much exponential growth led to collapse, and they failed. And Calvin Coolidge had no idea. No one had no idea, so it just kind of happened.
That'd be awesome.
I'd put him pretty high, dude. I'd put him in virtuous.
I was thinking pious.
You want him in pious?
Silent Cal, dude, was quiet. He was like a Bob
Yeah, he
Ross.
was silent on the main issues like social injustice and racial segregation.
His kid
died. Du jour.
His child died at 16 during office.
Kid died.
Yeah, you might be like.
That's why he stopped his second term. I'd put him at top of virtuous if anything. I wouldn't put him in pious. You want him in pious?
Yeah, I'm gonna put him a little pious right there.
We could call that some
JQA.
bias.
Bro was silent.
How many people are watching stream, Danny?
We got 5.
5 people? How many of those people do you think are bots? I'm just joking.
There's no bots, bro. I mean,
at the Discord again.
I think live streaming at night's not the best.
Yeah, it's nearly midnight. Well, it is Friday. I don't know. It's because this list is so long. We started at like 9 something, right? There's 45 different presidents. All right, we got Herbert Hoover, horrible president. Literally, he rolled out the tanks on the people, the war veterans when they protested on. Goddamn. Help me out here, Danny.
I have no clue what you're talking about, frankly. This guy is...
Herbert Hoover, you don't know what I'm talking about? Herbert Hoover sent out the tanks. He called in the National Guard or the military on the people who were protesting. I believe it was at the White House or some other important building that they wanted their, it was pension or, the compensation they were promised during World War I.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, that was bad, but... He was a humanitarian, right? Before presidency, he led World War I food relief efforts.
But then he didn't want to help him after the war.
He was generous and honest, failed to address the depression effectively, took blame with dignity, and continued public service. He died during I think what John F. Kennedy. He died a year after John F. Kennedy was assassinated. Herbert Hoover. I think he died at 93. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, the Great Depression was bad, but this guy was kind of like a humanitarian. He was like little Jimmy Carter.
Well, Jimmy Carter did a bunch of good things after his presidency as opposed to during his presidency. Now, we are taking in their entire life into consideration, so you could argue that that's a good thing, but I think what he did during his presidency was just bad. He was almost like an anti-federalist. He opposed the strong government, you know, and he didn't help out a whole lot. He wasn't smart enough, or he wasn't good enough. He didn't do the right things to help the Great Depression alleviate the pain for all the people of America that were in poverty. He didn't do much. He just sat there. They have so many political cartoons you could look up. I'm not looking at any now, but I remember looking at them in history class that, you know, Herbert Hoover's just sitting in office enjoying his cup of tea and everyone's out there suffering.
Yeah.
Quite literally.
Propaganda poster. I mean, apparently he met with Hitler. Casey met with Hitler and told him he said F you to Hitler.
He said F you to Hitler?
Basically, apparently.
You think if he didn't say that, World War II wouldn't have started?
I mean, I don't know.
Got a butterfly effect right there.
Yeah, I'd put him at just.
You would put him just?
I mean, yeah.
I'd put him compromised, dude. You got to put him compromised.
Great Depression.
From what he did, his inaction during the Great Depression, and he well, I already said it. He rolled out the tanks.
That's his presidency, bro.
Yeah, well, what he did during his presidency amounts to a big portion of his life. Even though it's only 4 years, you know, it's still like that. He did some bad stuff, I would say, Danny. You got to put him in compromise. There's no way you can put this guy in just.
I mean, but the humanitarian work, you know,
Mr. Daniel Helmer put guy in compromise.
Dude was orphaned at 9 years old. I
bad.
went to like his this little monument for him. It was like a shrine or whatever. I don't remember, but it was like, he orphaned at 9 and became a millionaire, bro.
You have a biased opinion then?
Never took a government salary. Public service, bro.
But you're just avoiding everything that he
Truman?
did bad during the Great Depression?
Yeah, I'm trying to like boost it up, bro.
So let's compromise and put him in compromise.
Leader of the compromises. But dude, how is that morally
Second
bad?
place.
It's not even that bad. You wanna go second place? Let's go first place, bro. Come on.
All right, Danny. Let's move on. Franklin
Yeah,
Delano
be the bigger
Roosevelt.
man.
Without even saying anything, I want to say virtuous, but then again, he did want power.
Actually, you kind of rock. He's either going sinner or damnation, and we're gonna find out in a second here.
Uh-oh.
So, Japanese internment camps.
Oh, there you
He had
go.
an affair during marriage. Yeah, it's basically. Yeah.
Guy was crippled. How did he have an affair?
He's the gamer. He's him.
Okay. Ooh. I mean, he got us through World War II. He was kind of king. You know, he had 4 terms, although he died into his 4th term because of his health issues. Still, he served a long
Dude had
time.
an affair, bro.
So we got to balance his personal bad things with his life.
Gotta be
during
a sinner, bro.
presidency. He also, in the Supreme Court, he wanted to add more justices, so he could get his stuff by and not have it get struck down in court, which is a drive for power. You know, he wanted power.
I'll put him at leader of the sinners. What do you think?
You know more about it than me.
I mean, he didn't turn the Japanese Americans, bro. That might be even lower.
That's thousands of Japanese people, and that created so much hate toward Japanese people as well.
Yeah, it
for
might be like
years to come,
the
dude.
middle
There
of
was probably
center.
some lynching on it. You know, Japanese businesses suffered.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, you got to take that into account.
Oh, my freaking. Oh, I think you can see it fall off stream.
Huh? What was that?
My back.
What is that? Your
Well,
mic?
yeah, my little thing that you put at the end of
Oh,
it fell off. Yeah.
oh, I see. Yeah, the filter.
Yeah.
Harry S. Truman.
Very true, man. He was,
This is the nerd right here. Look at him.
double
That's a nerd right
dropped
there.
2 atomic bombs in Japan, bro.
Okay. Well, that's arguably justifiable.
Why not 1 nuke? Why?
Because they were pretty bad. World War II was pretty bad, dude. The Japanese lit Pearl Harbor. How about we rank the Japanese on this? They literally dive bombed our ships. We did cut off their supplies, and you know we were
Yeah.
having the military presence there to show them, hey, we're here, man. And then they killed us. They
Yes.
took all the ships down.
Yeah.
Lots of men died that day. And then that's when, you know, Franklin Delano Roosevelt said, hey, we're going to war.
He's like,
Harry
yeah,
S.
you
Truman.
come over here bombing Pearl Harbor, you know?
He's freaking bomb. He ended it.
Okay, yeah, but we're talking about
He
Truman.
had to end it.
We're talking about Truman.
I know, but
So-
I'm saying what led to the actions. Harry S. Truman bombed him.
He was apparently a KKK member. Well, I got here that he refused to join the KKK when asked. And he dropped... Yeah, he also integrated the military. He supported civil rights, opposed racism. He sweared a lot, and he also had a fiery temper.
Oh, that's moral. That's
So double atomic bombies, bro. He dropped 2 atomic bombies on Japan.
What, you want to put him in damnation for killing all those people?
Bro killed so many civilians. I mean, was
Yes,
it
that
morally
makes
right? I
sense.
still debated, so we gotta debate
Well,
right now.
he had to make a decision. He thought it would save lives to end the war. That way the Japanese would stop fighting. Because even after Germany had lost, the Japanese continued to kill.
Yeah, I mean,
You know, there's that famous picture with the soldiers holding up the flag after they took one of the islands.
yeah.
Japanese, you know, it was the proxy fights or something where they fight on an island. It was brutal, the war. So he's like, this needs to end. We just came up with this secret weapon. He gave him a warning, didn't he? Before he threw the first bomb, he said, hey, we got weapons
No.
of mass destruction or something.
No.
Yes, he did, Danny. He said, surrender now or else.
Did he really?
Yes, it was something like that. He gave them a formal warning. They never responded, so they
Yeah,
dropped the
but
bomb.
dropping 2, I think 1 would have been enough.
Hey, they didn't surrender until the second one.
Yeah, but
All right, how about we put him in center then for killing someone?
he dropped 2 yucca bombs on people.
Okay,
mean,
what if you were in his position?
it's
What
like
would you have done?
wait, it's like in the Old Testament when God, like, I think he killed like a bunch of 2-year-olds in Egypt.
Wow.
And then I don't know if that's true. Don't take my word for it, but
What about the plague and the locusts?
yeah, we're not on that. I'm not talking
Seven
about that.
deadly sins, was it?
Yeah, but he did that, right? And I think the people who are Christians defend it as in like that morality is beyond comprehension. Like that's God to judge. So like, if you use that argument, how can he even
Harry
argue
S. Truman was
Truman's?
God.
Yeah.
He had to judge.
It was
He
beyond your
judged.
comprehension. He knew
It was punishment. So I don't think it's that bad, frankly. If I got to choose his position, I'd put him in compromise.
I'd put him
he
in top
had
center,
to make
bro.
a decision.
I mean,
Can I pull the Trump card here?
I don't know. We have to debate this morality. You drop a 2
Put him
nukes
at the
on
back of compromise.
the very back compromise. We're gonna get hated on for that. That's gonna probably be the major thing. Everyone's gonna put him in damnation.
2 atomic bomb. He had to make the choice.
Bro killed hundreds of thousands of people.
Okay.
I know.
How many people died in the war?
Millions.
There's a philosophy
millions.
that's about balancing the decisions based on context and consequence This is what we're doing here. We're literally balancing their good and their bad
Yeah, this is
and
literally morality.
justifying
Yeah.
their actions. Oh my God, this is hard. You want to
Yeah.
put him in center then?
I
Because he
mean, I'm
killed all
kind of
those
agreeing with you
people?
more. I mean, you gotta kind of balance it out. I mean, like this is what morality is. You gotta kind of sort of debate it. Share your thoughts.
We're almost getting there. We're
But
almost at the end.
yeah, I feel like Truman. I mean, what the hell are you gonna do? Like, if you're in his position, you either drop the 2 bombs or fight on forever. But I feel like there should have been a better way to handle the two
This is probably one of the
bombs.
hardest presidents to debate here. You know, it still remains a very morally contested
Yeah, very contested. It's still debated to this
conversation.
day. Yeah. But I feel like you got to make a choice. But again, I feel like there could have been a better way. Dropping 1 bomb and he waited 2 to 3 days after and dropped the next one, bro. Like you gotta wait a little bit. 2 to 3 days is not enough.
He was the only guy in history to bomb another country during a war.
Or atomic bomb another country.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Atomic bomb, fucking big
So
bombs.
this one's kind of hard. Chat, what do you
If we
think?
do compare it to other nuclear weapons, Little Man, Fat Boy, and Little, what were they called? Can't remember the names of the bombs, but they were smaller atomic bombs as opposed to different nuclear
Yeah,
bombs,
but guess
like
what?
the
Other
Tsar
nuclear
bomb.
bombs never detonated. So
Well, they did. They tested them. They just tested them.
yeah,
They
but
didn't
that
blow
didn't
it up
justify
on
it.
people.
How did this correlate? And
I'm trying to throw something in there, maybe help the guy out.
this is still debated to this day. I mean, I
Do
think
you
we
want
just
to
keep
say
him.
center, or you
I
want
was
to say
thinking like
compromise?
bottom compromise. I mean, he's
Yeah, but that's already
compromising.
where he's at. We'll just move on then. Dwight
Well,
D.
he did have a
Eisenhower.
fiery temper. I mean, he did like cuss a lot.
He doesn't look like it either. He looks like a little, like a Calvin Coolidge. Just, there's a word for that. Hold on. Like resolved, but different. It sounds like that. Where you stay to yourself.
Hmm.
Reserved. There we go. And
Yeah,
we gotta
we're
move
gonna put
on.
him top center. I mean,
About to be midnight, dude.
the next atomic bomb come. Well, you gotta go to bed soon.
No, I'm just saying it's about to be
Yeah,
midnight.
the
We gotta
double
keep
atomic
going.
bomb. The both of them being fired like 2 days later, or one fired 2 days after the other one. That's way too short.
You don't think there's enough time?
Yeah,
Probably
they're
should have
already
been a
at
week.
near brink of
They
defeat
couldn't
too.
respond.
So yeah, we put him at top. He's the leader of the sinners. He's leading them into battle. That's the worst. That's the best sinner. Wait, worst sinner or best one? He's the best
The
sinner.
least center.
Yeah, he's the least sinner guy. Next we got
But then
Eisenhower.
here's what we're saying. Hold on. Martin Van Buren. Is that right?
Yeah,
The bottom of the centers, right? The worst guy.
yeah,
Is that right?
he's the worst.
He didn't drop 2 nuclear atomic bombs.
Okay,
Franklin
yeah.
Pierce didn't drop 2 nuclear atomic bombs. Oh, God. Can we put him
Yes.
at the bottom of center?
Oh, put him in. That's where we're gonna put him.
He just bombed him, dude. He just killed those innocent people. All of those innocent people just living out their lives. Someone's cooking dinner. They're literally eating dinner with their families. Boom!
Yeah, yeah. You gotta go on the bottom, bro.
Man.
It's going to bottom of center, bro. I mean, you just dropped atomic bombs at people.
Okay. All right. All right. Here is Truman.
Someone said as a Malaysian S tier.
Poor guy.
Wait, which one? S tier Truman or Eisenhower? Okay. Next we have Eisenhower. Okay, let's move on, bro. Air two.
Dwight D. Eisenhower. S tier. Yeah. Bomb the New Yorkers. No, that's bad.
Little Rock, like Dwight D. Eisenhower,
Little Rock 9. Yeah. He did enforce civil rights. Well, no, the Civil Rights Act of 1964. He wasn't president during that time, but I'm sure he liked it.
He practiced moderation, avoided extremes. He was a military hero. He warned against the military-industrial complex. Yeah, I mean, Seems like
I think he's a pretty
he's pretty
good
wise
guy.
too. Yeah, but I'm like,
Did he have any like allegations or did he
well,
cheat
he
on his
was loyal to
wife?
his wife despite rumors. No evidence of major personal scandal.
So he hid it well, is what you're telling me.
I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I think we put him
We
like
don't
top
know.
just. I don't know. Below.
Top of just, I'd put him in virtuous, dude. With him defending, he literally sent out 1,000
Oh yeah,
National
World War
Guard
Two.
troops
Dude,
to go defend them some Rock Nines.
World War Two
Yeah,
fighting
and he
against
was
the
the general. He was some general in World War II.
He was a hero. Put him like here. Is this good?
I think that's fine.
Yeah, behind Garfield. Yeah. Oh my God. Next, John F.
Who we got
Kennedy.
next?
So,
Didn't he cheat on his wife? Did he even have a wife?
yeah, he did.
It
Okay,
was
let
with
me.
Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah,
Was
Marilyn
the
Monroe. That's,
woman?
there must. Yeah, there's probably some theories behind it. Probably true. So he was civil rights. He wanted peace, right? He was an adulterer. Apparently, he slept with many women. He had a reckless personal
Yeah, he
life.
was a dog.
Yeah,
I know
I
that's
think
what
he
they
had
called him.
STD. I think he had STDs.
He was a dog, dude. He loved sex.
Yeah, he had affairs,
He
STDs,
was
drug use, by the way.
This was during the space race, right? With
Yeah.
USSR.
Yep.
Ask not what your country can do for you.
We
Ask
choose
what
to
you
go
can
to
do
the
for your
moon
country.
and do the other things. Not because they're easy, but because they are hard. So he hid his
So
health,
he brought the
yeah.
America together, basically.
Yeah, but he also hid his serious health
Unite
problems from the
against
public.
against USSR.
Assassinated. I mean, but he cheated on his wife, bro. I mean, he's a sinner already. We already know he's a sinner.
Oh, Cuba, Danny.
Cuban Missile Crisis?
Bay of Pigs.
I mean, it's kind of like, presidential.
Well, that's morality, right? He was gonna take out the other guy, the leader.
You
But
gotta
it
do
was,
what
it was
you can
supposed
do.
to be a
Fidel
good
Castro
thing,
gotta go
so.
down. He's a sinner, so. Wait,
Because
so
of his
you're telling
adulterer?
me Harry S. Truman dropped 2 atomic bombs, right? And he's better than these guys?
Oh no! You want to throw him in damnation?
I think you're going to hell, bro. Oh my God.
Okay, put him at the very bottom then, behind Johnson.
Oh my God. Is that where he's going?
That's where he's got to go. If you think about it, all these other presidents, other than maybe FDR, which he should go lower, dude. With how much impact he had on the Asian Americans, 2 atomic bombs. That's 2 major cities of Japan completely gone.
Yeah, I mean,
All the people in there gone.
yeah. He's going to hell.
He's gone, dude. Oh, there's a decision that had to be made. At least one of the bombs, maybe not the second one, but yeah, it's bad.
I don't think I just put him higher than like James Buchanan when he literally dropped 2 atomic bombs. Okay, let's
back to
John F. Kennedy.
are we already done with John F. Kennedy?
We put him like right behind FDR.
Just because of his sex affairs and
yeah. Wait, no, Harding must be higher than these guys. Come on.
he did try and make change in America.
These guys all
he
3
wanted to
cheated.
change
This is a little cheating guy, yeah.
The cheating bracket?
Yeah, I think Harding's like probably the best of them.
Maybe.
You put it like this. Van Buren, bro.
Lyndon B. Johnson.
Continuing Trail of Tears. LBJ. So he showed his jumbo. Like, yeah. He was crude, vulgar, and often abusive to staff. Passed Civil Rights Act, Voting Rights Act. Escalated Vietnam War. Caused massive division.
I think the worst part about him is the Vietnam War.
He
Sending soldiers to
ruthlessly,
their death. Hiding facts from the American people. This is when people really started to view the government as untrustable. Because before the Vietnam War and Lyndon B. Johnson, all their actions, or at least most of them, were transparent. The people of America knew what was going on. We didn't lie to them about World War II or World War I or what was going on until the Vietnam War, when he propaganda essentially to our entire country. We're winning the war, it's going great, with no statistical facts, and then it comes back later and bites him in the ass that, hey, it was bad. The Vietnam War was a shit show.
Yeah, I mean,
I think there was also some scandals on elections because after Nixon, the presidents wanted to elect, not presidents, the people wanted to elect the anti-war president guy instead of Nixon. And that was because of Lyndon B. Johnson. Unless it was something. Maybe it was in Congress or in the Senate.
yeah, I mean, this is just so bad. Not to mention fire bombings for Truman, I think. Someone said that. Okay, Lyndon B. Johnson. He's got to go
I can't
center.
see the chat.
Right. Yeah, I took it off screen.
Well, now hold on. Lyndon B. Johnson did get Civil Rights and Voting Rights Act.
Yeah.
And the chat's gone. I can't see it.
There's not really anyone typing anymore. I mean, bro, you can just send every troop to yuckin Vietnam, just fighting on forever.
Keep him in center.
Yeah,
but that's the worst center. Now hold on. He didn't cheat on his wife. Oh, he did. No, I don't know, man.
No,
I'd I'd keep
Lady
him down
Bird.
there. He was a bad.
I
mean,
think
look at him. He looks like a crook. And we got the next guy who is a crook coming up.
Okay. So
Yes.
he talked with China, foreign affairs, ended the Vietnam War draft, created EPA. He was paranoid, dishonest. Hey, you want me to tell you about the Watergate? So Watergate's actually not that bad. He just spied on his opponents.
Well,
Like,
he
broke
tried
in, still
influencing
classified
the
them.
election by spying on them.
Yeah, it's not terrible.
So
I mean,
it actually, if you think about it this way, a lot of people say the Watergate scandal had nothing to do with influencing him winning the second election, you know, when he got for his second term.
yeah.
But then during that second term, yeah, what really got him, I think, during that Watergate scandal was when the Supreme Court told, you know, he's got to turn over the secret tapes, the video recordings or the audio recordings that were in the Oval Office.
Yeah.
And then he turned it in after a bunch of reluctant stuff in the night of firing or whatever they call it, where he fired like 3 guys in a row because they wouldn't do something. And when he turned in those tapes, part of it was missing. That really got him right there, you know. He didn't want to be the bad guy, and then he just left. So that's got to be immoral right there. He didn't take the punishment.
Yeah. He was also, yeah. Someone said, also, why was the Barry Goldberg incident not a widespread as Watergate? You could take that on.
Barry Goldberg. Yeah. That's great. I've never heard of that in my life. Exactly. I understand your question. Why is it not as widespread?
Yeah, I don't
we
know
need to
what
know
Barry
more about
Goldberg
this.
is. I never heard of that. Barry Goldberg. I never heard of that.
Let's look it up. Barry Goldberg scandal right here. 120 months in prison, charges of distribution of child pornography and cyber stalking in a sextortion scheme targeting a minor victim. What does this have to do with the president?
I think it's just like false. This is a random. Hey! Sorry, my cats are being a little bit weird. Yeah, but Nixon was he became wiser after his presidency. He was brilliant. Yeah, he's very.
Are you getting tired? You look pretty tired, man. How long have you been streaming? Hello? Oh, Danny's gone. I'll take over. Don't worry, I got this. Richard Nixon, is he already placed? Richard Nixon, he's going in. Richard Nixon going in and probably center.
No, he's pretty wise, dude.
He spied on.
I mean, he did bomb
He
Cambodia.
he gave up.
Go
Like
over
he
there, Agent Orange going
near
around.
the end of his last term. My console's about to turn off because I haven't pressed anything. It says to
Yep.
turn off in 5 minutes.
But he became very wise. He wrote a book, mini books, at the end of
You
his
want to
life.
compromise then?
Yeah, I'd say like
I am not a crook. I
put him
work for everything
I put him
got.
at top, leader of the compromises. Wait, no.
That's a good thing. You want him at the bottom.
Leader of the compromises is at the top.
Okay, so you're telling me John Tyler, is that the slave-owning cheater? Did he also cheat?
No. John Taylor's in Damnation. Traitor.
Wait a second. Oh. No, that's James K. Polk I'm looking at. Jesus, there's so many presidents.
Yeah, like out of all the ones at the bottom.
Goldwater.
Barry Goldwater.
Hold on a second.
Yeah, but
Goldwater
Barry
scandal. What do we got here?
Goldwater is. I mean, yeah, LBJ did use like the FBI to help spy, but it wasn't as much as Nixon did on Watergate.
Not as widespread. It didn't lead to such a big consequence like Nixon literally resigning from office so he didn't have to get impeached. That's why they keep the Watergate scandal in the three books. What do we got here?
But yeah, so you think
He's already
Compromise is
placed.
good? We gotta.
Dude, I'd place him lower. There's no way you're placing him that high.
What about here? Oh. Shit. Okay. Below.
I'd do him
McKinley.
at the bottom. He lied to the American people
He
in
became,
their
but he
face
became a better person
on multiple
after.
occasions.
Let's see, he was a pretty decent president. I'd put him A tier, but like morally speaking. What about right here, Dalton?
All right, we'll leave him there then.
Put him below Chester A. Arthur. No, Chinese Exclusion Act. We put him right there. Third place of the compromises.
I think this is fine.
Next, we got Gerald Ford. This guy was an honest, like he was known for being honest and humble and decent. He pardoned Nixon, which was actually moral, so it could the nation could heal up. No scandals.
Well, he was a bad president, though, right?
Ford.
He wasn't ready. He was Nixon's vice president, right? He was never elected. He was not a good president.
Yeah, his presidency's like C tier, but he did start pardoning Vietnam drafters. He begun pardoning them.
He pardoned Nixon too. Did you already say that?
Yeah, I think that was morally the best case there, so the nation could heal. You know. He's known for being a decent guy, Dalton. I'd put him at like leader of compromises. Maybe even like higher actually.
He didn't cheat on his wife?
Yeah. I'd put him like here. Maybe even higher.
Got him
actually.
adjust?
I might put him higher, like right here. He's a decent, honest person. Died pretty old.
I think that's fine. Can't be bad, right?
Yeah, I mean, why
he didn't
so
do a lot
high,
of good
bro?
things, but this is a morality tier list. This isn't because Washington had a lot of good things as opposed to slavery bad stuff. Leave Washington where he is. We already discussed this enough.
Okay, next we got
We're
Jimmy
now
Carter.
on to the 39th president.
You want to take this one?
Lived to be 100 years old.
Rest
Jimmy
in peace,
Carter.
Jimmy.
Yeah, I'll talk about him. He I don't know what it was called, his movement in Africa about trying to help the diseases and stuff and, help provide to the families there. But his life after presidency, he did a lot of good things, donated a lot of money to a lot of foundations. The main ones being in Africa, He brokered peace between Egypt and Israel, apparently. He was very honest.
Yep.
But during his presidency, he was not very effective. He was seen as weak after a certain action. I remember discussing this in my government class more recently. I can't remember what it was exactly. But overall, I think he was actually pretty good at trying to work with Congress, but something bad happened and people seen him as weak.
Yeah,
But that's not moral
I can
stuff. Yeah.
extend
I think
over.
he's a pretty good guy
Yeah, this
morally.
might be pious. Yeah, apparently people say he's like he's off the side as the most moral president ever existed.
He never cheated on his wife.
Yeah, yeah, he's deeply religious. He was honest. He advocated human rights and peace. Yeah, he was continues humanitarian work at an old age. Um, he reconciled with Gerald Ford. They became best friends. So did him and George H.W. Bush. And he was like one of the last Democratic presidents, or I mean, during this time, this incident was kind of it had already begun. So like every Democrat after just continued to hold this policy, and I'm not gonna say the policy yet, but you probably already noticed he was the first and only Democrat. Everyone before him, obviously, everyone else. I'm gonna say it. It was abortion. Okay.
Oh my
Everyone
God.
before Jimmy Carter obviously opposed abortion. Okay, it basically did not exist. But Jimmy Carter was the only Democratic president when abortion became an issue to actually disapprove of it. And he also wished that the Democrats became more lenient and started to oppose abortion. So this guy's pious, bro.
Put him pious.
I might even put him above
You think above?
Lincoln. Yeah.
Yeah. I would put him above Lincoln. This is a morality tier list. Remember, Lincoln was pretty racist, although he did help a bunch of the black people. There's theories that he's kind of racist.
Yeah. Jimmy Carter's probably gonna be the one up there forever. Yeah. The way I'm looking at it, he's up there. He's gonna be. Yeah. I don't think we're gonna have another virtuous person now. That was the
No,
last
there's
one.
not. Definitely not.
Yeah, everyone else has committed war crimes. Yeah.
All right, Ronald Reagan. The scariest thing someone could say is, "I'm here from the government. I'm here to help."
His wife was like he pulled a. Yeah, I'm just saying like his wife is
He was
very beautiful.
he was an actor, no? So that already
Exactly.
makes him kind of inherently
Yeah.
bad in a sense. Actors back then were, I don't know.
Yeah. Iran Contra scandal. Yeah, like selling firearms in Middle East, whatever. Right.
He helped end the Cold War.
Yeah. Or yeah, Berlin
Peaceful
Wall.
diplomacy.
He was loyal to his wife, no major scandals. He had a mixed race record. I think something happened in California. Like maybe he was a little bit racist over there. I'm pretty sure he said AIDS was caused by homosexual people, and he was like slow on it. And civil rights, yeah. He was personally moral, but his morality and his administration is kind of complex.
That sounds
I'm pretty
right.
sure he did some war crimes. I think he did something.
Uh-oh.
I mean, everyone during this time period is gonna like
Overall, he's a
invade.
pretty decent
They're gonna
president,
invade
right?
countries. Like everyone over here is invading countries.
Oh yeah, Iraq, Afghanistan, everywhere in the Middle East.
Africa. And, I'd put him like somewhere in compromise, maybe like low compromise. Actually,
was
no, these
thinking
guys own slaves,
just.
bro. You'd put him in just.
That's what I was thinking.
I mean, I don't know why we have Hoover and C, dude.
Herbert Hoover?
Yeah, I mean, he's basically committed Jimmy Carter. He was also humanitarian.
I already talked about this, Danny.
Yeah, we gotta move him up, Dalton, to at least just.
Great Depression. Herbert Hoover was horrible during the Great Depression and during his presidency term. I've said it before, I'll say it again. He sent the tanks out on the veterans, the guys who fought during during World War One. The guys who fought during World War One to not protect the country, but protect the other countries and fight for our country, 'cause that's what all the guys in the military do. Are you looking this up? It's
Oh, you
it's
looking at
bad. He denied their pensions, or they're not their pensions. They were promised benefit and aid, and during the Great Depression, obviously they were like, hey, we were promised all this stuff in the future. We need this stuff. They never got it because of that.
I mean, but humanitarian, dude.
I think they only gave those benefits to the World War One veterans after World War Two.
Okay, okay, we'll keep him there. Okay, let's just move on to Reagan. So I'd
We're already
probably
on
put him
Reagan.
like, yeah, we're gonna go back to him. Yeah, we put him like
Give you a finalized spot.
above Nixon.
Yeah, you can't put him below Nixon. He didn't have no Watergate scandal.
I'm pretty sure one of them said the N-word. I think Reagan said the N-word.
Okay, that doesn't.
He said like he called Africans monkeys.
Whoa.
Yeah, or African Americans monkeys. So you sure?
George H.W. Bush. He's the first one.
Oh yeah, this guy was also a strong character with integrity and decency. He supported pro-life policies. Um,
He
he vetoed
damaged the public's
abortion-related
trust.
regulation. I mean, some people are gonna say like abortion's moral. Some are gonna say it's immoral. So like it's my own beliefs. That's what we're ranking off the criteria. Mine's and Dalton's beliefs. He struggled in the Iraq War.
Didn't he send soldiers to die
Where?
in Iraq?
That's kind of like George W. Bush a little bit more when he like invaded Iraq.
I'm confusing the two then.
Yeah, George H.W. Bush, he's still kind of like the Gulf War. He led through the Gulf War. He was loyal to his family. Like he kind of wanted his son Jeb Bush to be president. He didn't really care about his other son George W. Bush in a way. George W. Bush did become president. But
I heard about that before.
yeah, I watched the W movie.
Some immoral stuff right there.
Yeah, that's 2001. I'm talking
You're
about
gonna put him on compromise?
1983. Yeah, I guess that's no. I think I put him above like somewhere unjust. Actually.
Unjust?
Iraq War was kind of justified. Someone said. I put him like above Ford. Wait, right there. Is that good?
Well, he did lie to the American people.
Oh no, new taxes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's really a lie. I mean, he was like,
It's not a very serious thing. He probably said that at the start, and he's like, "Sorry, guys, we really got to do this."
no, like the Democrats pushed for it, and like he had to literally put new taxes.
Hmm.
So
Could
I
use a
think right here
pocket
might be
veto.
good, just
All right, next guy, Bill Clinton.
Billy Clinton. Okay. How are you gonna cheat on your wife yet read the book Meditations by Marcus Aurelius? So Monica Lewinsky affair, cheating on his wife.
He's one of the few presidents who got impeached.
Mm-hmm.
Although none of the
Almost
presidents who
did.
did get
Yeah.
impeached
Actually,
got
yeah.
evicted from the Senate. But still, yeah, he got impeached, you know. And some people argue that his personal life has nothing to do with, you know, getting impeached because we have all these other presidents who cheated. FDR, we got JFK, Warren G. Harding. These guys are adulterers or something. They cheated on their wife and they didn't get yeah, was that before or after the presidency or was it during? Because we shouldn't, by the precedent set, well, it was set way after, but you know, him getting Bill Clinton getting what's the word, impeached, shouldn't the other guys have also gotten impeached? That's why some people argue that his impeachment was not right.
Like politically, was he like targeted politically? Maybe. I mean, no.
There
I
might
think
be some theories behind
an
that.
oath or something.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Because he lied under oath. That's what they got him for. That he did cheat on his wife.
Yeah.
But then you could argue that what led him to lie under oath was that he didn't want to look bad like he cheated on his wife.
I mean, he's a liar.
Maybe if he just said, "Yes, I did. I cheated. I had sexual affairs with that woman."
Sexual relations with that woman.
He would have never got. He would have never got impeached because he didn't lie under oath. But then he would have been saying to the American public that yes, it is okay to cheat on your wife, which is a bad view, but they still got his ass.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Moving on though. Apparently
so we put him in
did
center
go,
then.
No, we're not done yet. There's some more stuff to consider. He apparently went to Epstein's Island.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. We don't know if he did anything bad though, so we can't make any
He
assumptions.
was good with the economy, though, right?
Yeah, but that's not this presidency. He also supported
Uh,
abortion rights, signed the Freedom of Access to Clinic Entrance Acts, 1994, protecting abortion access, which is terrible.
except for you,
Yeah. So I think
that's
like
also a controversial topic.
sinner, like high sin, like a leader of the sinners. What do you
Where's the
think?
other cheaters? Put him with the cheater bracket, man. Put him behind Franklin.
Put him behind.
Fierce.
I mean, Grover Cleveland literally dated a yuckin'.
14-year-old slavery lady?
No, that was Jefferson.
Yeah, that's the damnation guy.
Grover Cleveland, maybe put him like.
I
I
don't
mean, she
know.
was
I
18, the girl.
I'm losing
So
my eyeballs here. At least he didn't send the people to die. Yeah, well, we got to put him with the other cheaters, the other adulterers. You know, that is a sinner right there. In the morality tier list, you can't just cheat on your wife. Usually that'll
okay,
lead to divorce, and
you
that's
want to
just a
put him the
bad
leader of
thing.
them, leader of the cheaters.
I'd like him to be with the other cheaters. That way they're all together.
Okay, he's leader of the cheaters though. He's like above all the other
Leader of the
cheaters.
cheaters. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah,
You got
John
impeached
F.
for it.
Kennedy,
Lied
the
under
worst
oath on
one.
top of it. So
Yeah,
George W. Bush, the very controversial attack on terrorism, sending the military to Iraq. A bunch of
yeah,
soldiers died. We got the guy eventually, but you know,
yeah. Saddam,
a big
or no,
thing for him
Saddam,
winning his second term was because of
some.
that thing, the war on terrorism. How people saw it as
Also,
defending
today's Osama
America and
bin
how it was a
Laden's
good
birthday.
thing, but then oh, interesting.
Yeah, or by the time this is
Later
aired.
on,
Yeah.
people looking back at George W. Bush and sending the soldiers to Iraq, they see that as a bad decision because we overstepped.
Mm-hmm.
We interfered with the country too much, trying to find one guy. It was like vengeance, basically. Kratos could tell you about that. You never good.
I think it might be Hoover's birthday too. I don't know. Yeah,
You got something
but
to say about George W. Bush?
oh, that's not Hoover's birthday. I think it might. I don't know.
Oh, didn't he lie to the American people? Said they have weapons of mass destruction. That's him.
Yeah, that's the
He
guy.
lied.
Yeah, so that's also bad. Yeah. Let me go on. I mean, like he's
Was that
pro-life.
Tom McNamara I just seen?
Oh yeah, yeah, my desktop.
Oh, we just leaked our.
I mean, I've been
Don't
doing
say
that a
anything
lot,
else.
the whole stream basically. Yeah, but he's a born again Christian. He drank alcohol until like when he was 40, and he started like change his life with God. I think he got a revelation
Mm.
or something. But yeah, he led them.
Do
He
a
went
good
to
balance out the
9/11,
two.
and he did help 9/11 become a strong leader during the 9/11 attacks. But
Kept the country
Iraq
together,
War
but
is basically just like it sets him
inevitably it
down.
was bad.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that sinner though? I think it's just a bad choice. If anything, I'd put him at the bottom of compromise.
I would really.
I don't know. You want to put him in sinner? I
But
mean, he did send in those yuckers to die, but everyone was okay with it at the time. They did not care because their country just got fucking attacked.
yeah, I put him below compromise. Low compromise? Very
Like
low.
at the time, I think, it was all right. Other than the Harry S. Truman, poor guy, poor guy down there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, 2 atomic bombs. I think I'm fine with that right there.
Yeah. George W. Bush, I guess, put him below compromise, like the lowest you can
He's at
go.
the very bottom. He's almost sinner. He's almost. If he would have done one more bad thing, he would have been a sinner.
He was kind of a shitty president too, not gonna lie. I literally have to use a cuss word in that because he was kind of terrible.
Well, he got elected 2 terms. People must have liked him.
Okay, next we got Obama.
Obama. Morality, I think it's
Yeah,
pretty high.
yeah.
Other than his transgender wife, I'm just.
It's just a theory, though. Right?
It's a theory, all right.
I think she had like 3 kids and she got like a gender change and got like a genitals, yeah. But Obama, strong moral leadership on social issues, champion healthcare. Soda! Someone put in the chat. Champion healthcare reform and LGBT rights. If you want to say LGBTQ is immoral or moral, that's all up to you.
I think he was overall a good Democrat.
But he was pro-choice on abortion, supported abortion access, and signed the Affordable Care Act, with included abortion control provisions. Faced ethical challenges with military action, so he did drone strikes on like Libya. He just drone strike Libya. There's some questionable things. So I'd put him like around compromise, dude.
In his first term, I'm not sure about his second term, but in his first term, he did have a mandate behind him, is what people use, especially in political cartoons. I would not put him in compromise. I'd put him higher than that.
What?
Near the top of just.
Yeah,
He was a good person.
I mean, most of them.
He led the country. He was a strong president, all right? Sure, there might have been a little bit of questionable stuff, with the drone strikes. What else does he have?
I mean, I guess
though?
Reagan and Nixon all did like attacks on like foreign countries. But I mean, Obama is pro-choice and abortion. It's kind of like taking him down a little bit.
In your idea,
I'd put him like
that's a
leader of
controversial
compromise.
decision. Dude, I'd put him, if anything, at the bottom of virtuous.
At the bottom of virtuous.
Yes, he is a good guy.
Dude, okay, supports abortion. In my opinion.
Be it.
Okay, we're gonna have to meet in the middle
I say
then.
leave it to the states. That way the states. No. You better put him at the top of just then, above.
We gotta put him in. So I would have put him above compromise.
Make the own. No, I can't.
We have to put him in the middle so we can meet in the middle. You said bottom virtuous. I said top compromise. We gotta put him in just somewhere. Right here, right in the middle.
No, bottom of virtuous.
No, I want to put him top compromise. So we gotta meet in the middle.
Hold on. Look. Him trying to ban abortion or unban abortion or keep it pro-abortion, I guess you could say. That's not a bad thing.
Well, in my opinion, it is.
And that's your opinion.
Yeah,
you can't have a biased list here.
The criteria is subjective. Everyone's gonna have their own beliefs.
Morality and ethics. All right. If someone wants to make their decision, they can make their decision. We already spoke about this before.
I'm not gonna agree with you on that.
And so be it.
Yeah,
we're gonna have to. We have to compromise here. Yeah. Well, we also have to take into account other people's ideas.
Yeah, I am. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he was a strong, charismatic leader. But that's kind of like,
And he was a very good morally good president. Barack Obama deserves to be up there with the greats.
Dude plunged the freaking Libya in the freaking chaos, bro. Just yucking drone striking.
Oh. All right, why don't you put him at the top of just?
I mean, he did deport a lot of immigrants too.
Oh, I bet you would like that one.
Okay, bro.
Put him at the top of just, Danny. You could put him in between Theodore Roosevelt and George Washington. There's no way that George Washington is more morally right than Barack Obama. That could be arguable. I don't know, dude. Them slaves.
I don't know, man. It's kind of like...
Danny, what's your argument for abortion?
Oh my, it's gonna take so long to debate it.
Just say a word. Just
okay.
Summarize it really quickly.
So I think abortion should be banned and only legal when the mother's life is in danger. So incest and rape and economic issues do not matter to me. The only thing that matters is if the mother's life is endangered, that it should be legal. And people say viability. If a child is like 24 months old and it can be safe out the womb, then that's considered where it's at its peak of human decencies, that it can't be like, you can't abort that because, if you abort it, it's morally wrong. But there's places out, like, other countries where science is underdeveloped. So, like, babies can't, the fetus can't survive out the womb above 24 months, like maybe 32 months. So you can't really have a standard for when viability should be, when the life is taken into consideration, Some of them are 20 weeks. I think there was a 22-week fetus that survived out the womb.
Yeah, I think you're going on a tangent here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's what I wanted. You want me
You
to do
gotta use your brain more, man.
I do use
If
my
we're
brain.
talking about common sense, you're telling me your 14-year-old daughter was raped and now she has to carry and raise the child of the person who raped her?
Two wrongs don't make a right, Dalton. You have to punish the person you punish the person that actually committed the crime, which is the person that raped her.
And then that child is gonna ruin her life.
How so?
How so?
You could put it
I
up
don't
for
know.
adoption. That's a human being right there.
Well,
I just
it's not a
debated
human being
the
till
viability thing.
It's out there.
So
and it's a
wait,
human being.
when can you abort that the rape baby? When can you abort it?
I don't know. I don't know the statistics on
Exactly.
that.
He's-
But as
you
soon as you figure
uneducated
that
as
shit
well.
out, as soon as you figure out that it's in there, dude, you take that yucker out. Like you were just raped. There's got to be exceptions to that. So you can't use that as a precedent to determine where you're going to place presidents based on their abortion stuff.
Well,
Their
I
abortion
could
ideas.
do that because it's my beliefs. I think abortion is morally wrong. Just
Look
like
at-
we talked about the
so-
Truman nuclear freaking
You could
atomic
talk
bombs.
to rape victims, you could read stuff on this, but
Shoot.
them raising that child, say they didn't put it up for adoption, it's going to screw up the child's life if you put them up for adoption, and then you
How
say,
is it gonna
yeah,
screw
my
up the child's
dad,
wife or life?
my dad raped my mom. I was born from a
Okay,
a
would you
shitty
rather
dad
be
or
dead
something.
or alive, Dalton? Would you rather
I
be
don't know,
alive?
man. My mom wasn't raped.
Yeah, but
And
what's
then when the mother
life
looks
is
at
always
the
better than
kid's
death.
face, right? The mother sees the kid, they only see the rapist. It's bad. These are the exceptions that need to be made for abortion.
No, as a mother, you should see that that's your kid and you need to take care of it.
But you see why it's your kid? Because you got raped. Have you ever been raped? You get
No.
raped, come back to me, and then tell me what you think about abortion, all right?
Yeah,
I
I
can't
keep.
talk about it because you're not a woman. We don't
Oh,
have
you're
the
one of
same
those
rights.
people. So if you're not a man, you cannot have a say in it. You're a feminist. Look at this guy.
It's not 100% say, all right? I'm just stating facts. You can't have a child. You can't get raped in
No,
the same
let's
way.
debate
you
the
know what I'm
actual
saying?
pinpoint of the morality instead of saying that it's the woman should have to say. Why should a woman have to say in something that's immoral that I think is wrong?
What?
We need to debate the actual meaning. Is it moral or is it wrong?
Both people should have
Not
a say,
that-
but you're not making sense, dude. You have to use your brain, common
I
sense.
am
I'm more
using my
wise
brain.
than
I
you, so
studied this. Okay.
My point is more valid.
Look, I'm gonna be the bigger man and say that I'm not wiser than you. Okay, you can claim credit for being wiser than me. I don't care, but like I studied this, yucker. I debated this before dawn, and you don't even know
And I've debated you
the
in
viability.
The
You
past.
don't know the viability. You don't even. You aren't even educated. You don't even probably know what viability means. You're like, I don't know how many weeks.
I have all the ideas.
No, you don't know the weeks. You need to study this
The
more.
weeks don't matter. It's about the context. It's about the situation.
So you could do a late term abortion, not 8 months in.
I'm saying the weeks don't matter in my argument of justifying pro-abortion.
You need to get educated in this because you don't know how many months in. You know, not everyone's gonna abort a baby like 1 month in. Like, oh wait, I'm pregnant. Shit.
Well, the sooner, better sooner than later, I say, like cancer, huh?
Why is it better sooner than later?
You gotta catch the cancer early. You gotta catch the kid early. That way, it doesn't become a problem, and it's harder
But-
to get rid of it if it's if it's
Not-
one of
I
those
don't-
exceptions
are you
that
sure
I say.
Are you sure it is?
You know, we gotta finish the tier list, man. We got
Okay, bro.
the two newest
I
presidents.
won that though. Take the L, buddy.
You don't.
Okay. We can debate this again some
It
other
will
time.
not keep the contested child.
Okay, let's move on to. Do we do Joe Biden or Trump first? I think we should do Trump last. What do you think? Do Trump last or first?
Well,
some
he
guy
was the
said
45th, so we gotta
comparing
do him
cancer to a
first.
fetus is very iffy. Not gonna lie.
I'm just saying that you gotta catch it sooner than later.
You
Obviously.
think the fetus is a parasite?
Well, I don't know, man. Some people don't figure out they're pregnant until they got a
that
bump
is a
like 3 months
human
in. It's probably better to
Being
know
in the
if
womb.
you get it sooner
You
rather
were
than
there.
later.
I was there.
Yes.
All of us were.
But I think my points are stronger than your points. Your points are weak.
Okay,
In fact.
why should a woman? You said why should a
Dang,
woman be
we
able
gotta
to?
move on, dude.
No, why
We're
should
gonna
a?
have to do this another time.
You
It's
said,
midnight.
yeah,
It is
you say my
12:06
points
where
are
we are.
weak, but you don't point out what points are weak. You just say
Because
they're
I don't
weak.
have time.
Yeah,
I
you
don't have
can't comprehend it, and
time. We already spoke about it. I don't
Okay.
have time, Danny.
Okay, what next? Joe Biden or Trump? You
Here,
have to-
we'll do it after the two presidents, okay? Keep
Okay.
that in your mind.
Who do you want to do first?
Trump was the 45th, so we have to do him first, and then Joe Biden 46 as the last.
So yeah, so divisive figure, obviously. I mean, this guy got all the loyal supporters.
Pious all the way. I'm joking.
Okay.
I'd put him in damnation, dude.
Yeah, sexual misconduct, dishonesty, slept with many women. Pro-life though.
He just attacks his opponent. He doesn't build on his great points. He's like, we're gonna make America great again. We're gonna immigrate all the immigrants, and we're gonna take them out. Like,
What?
that can't be that can't just be a virtuous thing right there. It's separate. He's separated families. You know, whether it's a good thing for the country or not, it doesn't matter. It's immoral. I think he goes in
deportation is
damnation
immoral?
pretty damn close to Harry S. Truman.
Yeah, I kind of differ on it. I mean, you know, if you have all these immigrants coming in, like, okay, Don, do you think we should open the border to those that have a whole family in like you know, if they're gonna get killed by like or they're like under threat of the Taliban or not? Yeah, or not Taliban. I mean, fuck, the cartel.
The cartel?
Yeah,
Did the
so, like-
cartel come to America to get their ass?
No, they won't. But like,
Day.
do you think families should like if there's like a kid, you know, do you think they should come over in America?
Well,
for a minute?
America's whole thing is everybody's welcome, you know. Obviously, you got to go through the registration to become an American citizen, but that process is so corrupt within itself and how long it takes. And you get your green card, and it takes years to become a citizen. You know, one thing I agree with, I think it's the Green Party that does it.
Yeah.
You know, the smaller parties that try and run for president, they'll never win, but they still influence the vote. They want to reform. They want to basically do what somebody did, or what we were thinking should be done to the FDA. Completely change it to make it better. You know, they want to change the whole becoming an American citizen process and make it easier. That way people can become citizens and actually contribute to the country without doing it illegally. You know, I think that would be great. And then Trump's like, get all these Mexicans out of here. He hates Mexicans. And he said he doesn't, but he clearly does. Something's wrong with him. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I mean, you know, deporting illegal immigrants. This is kind of hard. America's like the best country ever. This is like probably like the only. This is a big problem. You know.
He did a lot of bad, shady things. Apparently, he buried his wife in a golf course to avoid paying taxes.
Okay. Yeah, he might be like a sinner. I mean,
He talks about his
These guys
daughter
are-
sexually.
oh yeah, and also
The guy's in damnation. There's no question.
yeah, I mean, worse than these guys on the bottom though. They all have like, I mean, these guys right here. I mean, I think we should put them with these guys, the cheaters on.
Dude, why are you trying to save this man?
I'm not
Donald Trump is a horrible person.
Yes, but like
We're
even his
talking about
pro-life
morals.
policies, he
We're
like
not
bringing
talking
it to the
about
states, which
presidents.
is kind of annoying. Yeah, we're talking about morals. Is what I'm saying.
Mhm.
But Wilson's racist. John Tyler's racist. Treason. Jackson's yuckin' racist. Although the bottom's full of racists and were criminals.
And bombers.
Yeah, Donald Trump's not a.
That doesn't. Yeah, and
Donald Trump pulled out-
Donald
no,
Trump.
he
Look,
didn't start
let me
any
tell you
wars.
something, Danny.
No new
Out of
wars.
all the presidents on this list, who has done the most shady, disrespectful, immoral, avoiding ethics, who has avoided all of this stuff, done the worst things, whether they be a major scale like bombing Hiroshima and Nagasaki, or owning slaves or being racist. You know, he is racist towards Mexicans. So
Wait, how's Trump
he
racist
has
towards
the
Mexicans?
most number of bad things because he hates Mexicans.
How so?
He wants to deport all Mexicans.
No, he wants to deport illegal immigrants.
and they just so happen to be Mexicans.
Yeah, because the cartels in Mexico, that's literally why they're all coming over here.
If you can't see without statistical evidence that Donald Trump is not a super racist towards Mexicans,
No,
then you're blind.
How is he racist off statistics?
No, I'm saying without statistics, with what he's
Yeah.
doing and how he talks to the American people in his rallies about deporting the illegal aliens and immigrants and Mexicans. He's called them Mexican. We need to deport the Mexicans. We're going to build a wall around Mexico so all the Mexicans can't get in the United States.
Yeah, because that's where most of the illegals come from.
Okay, well, he's doing it in a pretty damn racist way. He's targeting Mexico, all right? Let me tell you. The Gulf of Mexico, Gulf of America now.
No, okay, so the reason why he's targeting Mexico, because it's literally so if you have a leakage, right? Are you gonna patch up the biggest hole or the smallest holes first? You gotta patch up the biggest hole,
All
right?
of the holes, frankly.
Yeah, you do the biggest hole first, because that's the ones that's gonna
Danny,
make you.
he's doing it in the wrong way.
Yep. So did we get rid of the racist part at least then, or no?
No, he is racist. Clearly,
How is he racist?
Put him in damnation.
No, tell me. I just debated your point.
I need not explain more. Use your common sense and use your eyeballs.
You can't just say that for everything. You cannot say that.
Can.
You use it as a scapegoat so you don't argue.
Dude. Bombs, Nagasaki. The bomb dropped.
You just like
Ask
just
Potato Man. What's Potato Man's thoughts?
Potato Man, what do you think? He said worse than Jackson, nah, but DJT is still the devil to me.
I don't think Jackson is nearly as worse as Donald Trump in the morality. Remember, we're talking about morality, not presidential. How good are they as a president or this or that? This is the morality and ethics. Is Donald Trump a good person? No, he's a horrible person.
I don't think it's damnation though. I think he's like a low sinner.
He avoided getting drafted too.
Oh yeah, he went to like university, right, or something. Also, I think Clinton also did that. I think a lot of presidents did that. No?
Yeah, to pursue their careers. You could look up how many bad things Trump did in his lifetime. He had a bunch of bankrupt businesses.
How's that morally bad?
Some were built on corruption.
Yeah, guess who's a billionaire now?
Bending the laws. Yeah, and he's got a shitload of money, and he just has it.
Yeah,
he works with Elon Musk. If you look at what Elon Musk has been doing, this is some really bad stuff.
I mean, he does sell Bibles for like $50.
He rigged the election. Did you know that?
Who did? Elon Musk?
No, Donald Trump.
What election?
He openly said on national television in some, I forgot what state it was, but he was like, Elon Musk, he really knows those computers. If he didn't rig the election, we wouldn't have won.
Send that to me. He did not say that. He did not say that.
Yes, he did.
Yes,
he did. I guarantee it, Danny. You got to see the fucking video, dude. I'm going to try and find it, all right? But I'm serious. The guy deserves to be in damnation. Potato Man, convince this idiot here. I don't know why you're trying to say
I got both of them. I got the Olympics and I got the World Cup. And I said, you know, it's too bad. One was in 2026 and the other was in 2028. And I said, I won't be there. I won't be your president. But then they rigged the election and now we won. So I'm going to be your president for the Olympics and for the World Cup.
Might have misspoken. I don't know. There's no proof, Dalton.
Oh, look at that. And then they rigged the election, and then we won.
I mean, dude.
No, it's a different clip. He talks about voting computers, and he talks about Elon Musk's in one of the states. How he was like, Elon Musk, he knows those computers well. If he didn't rig the election or something.
I mean, this is not really big news.
Big news. Well, I know. I don't know why nothing was done about it.
Probably because it's not true and he probably just misspoke. Look,
until
I see that the government tries to see if he did it, then I'm not going to believe it. You said I'm trying to save him. No, I'm trying to debate you. You're probably doing that because you
I
think
don't know
agree
if it's
Trump's
rigged,
false.
all right?
Yeah.
But he said it's rigged, so...
Might have been a misspoke.
The guy himself.
I don't know. I feel like he would still expand on it. Like, yeah, we did rig. Why would he blatantly admit it?
I just don't know why you're not agreeing Why are you
Because
trying
we
to defend
have
his
different
actions?
viewpoints. That's the basis of society. You keep forgetting like that. You think everyone needs to. You have the bet. You're self-righteous, bro. You're self-righteous, bro. You think everything you
Danny,
say is
I
correct.
do have to tell you something.
What?
With Donald Trump, it should be common sense.
Really?
If you've seen enough, you should know that he's not a good person.
Well,
Look
I
at
don't.
him, dude. He looks
Yeah,
like a villain.
I agree with you. He has a lot of moral flaws, but I don't think he's damnation. I don't think it's with these racists and people that killed.
So you don't
thousands.
think he's gonna go to hell when he dies if you believe in your religion?
I mean, these
of hell
sinners
and
could also go.
heaven.
These guys could also go to hell, Don.
Correct. But like Trump, I don't see why you're not putting him in damnation.
I mean, I'm trying to.
What good did he do? I know he did a lot of good things. He actually, in his first term, he did a lot of good things. But still, I think his badness outweighs all of the goodness that he did in his first term. And especially what's going on right now. People are so worried about what's going to happen with the government, dude. Trump needs to go in
Yeah, he's
damnation,
making-
Danny.
Like, I don't know why he's falling off so much. I mean,
He's
like-
falling off because
like,
he's running out of time.
I'm not worried about the economy, but the whole thing is like the deportation thing. I think he deported someone with brain cancer, like a little girl brain cancer.
He's deported a lot of things. He's broken up families. I've already said he hates Mexicans.
I
Alright?
told you
that
he doesn't
is
hate
evident.
Mexicans.
He does hate Mexicans. If you were God and you were omniscient, we're all knowing, you would like look into Trump's mind and then you would see I hate Mexicans.
Why is he? I told you again. Why does he hate Mexicans?
Because he does. I can't give you an
can't-
exact statement that he says he hates
Yeah,
Mexicans,
so-
just like I can't give you an exact statement why George Washington used slave teeth instead of alternative teeth or something, but he did it.
No, there has to be a reason for
That's a different.
for you to
that's a
get to that
different thing.
stance.
See what we got right here. Was it Thomas Jefferson that dated the 14-year-old slave?
Yeah.
Donald Trump sexualized his daughter on national television. You want to hear it?
I already heard it before. I'm good.
Okay.
You want to put him top?
The guy
okay,
deserves damnation.
we're at
dude.
damnation then. Where do you want to put him?
I put him right next to Jackson.
Someone said that's not the same. Lol. What?
Yeah, I know. I tried drawing a comparison. It didn't work. I put him below Tyler, dude. He deserves
Tyler.
damnation.
Richard Wilson. I think he might be like drop him lower down. I feel like John Tyler would be higher than Wilson. I mean, Tyler was a traitor though. Is that like? But this guy also.
He's a traitor. That guy deserves damnation. We got Trail of Tears Jackson right there, going against the Supreme Court's
Trump isn't.
decision.
Someone says he's bigoted, not racist.
Quite bigoted.
Yeah.
I don't know these new words of today's society. What the hell does bigoted mean?
Like, kind of like believing something without actual factual proof.
Isn't that just bias? Reasonably attached to a belief, opinion, or faction, or particular prejudice. There you go.
Yeah, you're kind of being bigoted in here too. I'm not gonna lie. You're just
For putting him in damnation.
you're
I
like
think that much is obvious, dude. Everyone in the country can agree that Trump is a bad person. Obviously, there's going to be people that ride his dick. They're
yeah,
just
right here. I'm joking.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's good. I'm joking. But yeah, I mean the way I don't like how you like debate people. Just think in your brain. Use common sense. That's not how you can't say that all the time. You have to actually have evidence. You have to actually make points, Dalton. You can't just say that. That's not how that works. No one has the same brain as you, buddy.
It's too recent to make statistical points that I don't have. I don't have all the evidence. I just know the answers. You know what I mean? And I know it's now I have a invalidated argument. I'd have to do some research, man. And a lot of the stuff now is just going to be theorized, but I know that he is a bad person. We're going to see 20 years down the line, he's going to be in the history books about probably what's going to be happening in the next 3 years. We're going to see.
He's probably going to be like a Jefferson, like probably.
We'll revisit this. We'll revisit the tier list 20 years from now, huh?
Yeah, that's how I'm going to be freaking ultimate all wisdom ever.
Yeah, where you're going to have all the knowledge.
I'm already Wait.
We're on to very last president, Mr. Joe
Joe
Biden.
Biden. Sniffs kids.
Oh yeah, there we go. Oh God, that's kind of a weird thing though. That's not like a.
That's a.
It's not a
That's F tier
horrible.
already. I'm
That's
joking.
not cheating on your wife, you know.
Yeah. I
Did
did
he
lose
cheat
his
on his
wife.
wife?
No, he lost his wife.
Didn't he pardon his
in a car
son
crash.
after some kind of crime?
Oh yeah, that's morally wrong. That was morally wrong. He should have. He said he said he wasn't gonna pardon him, and then he pardoned him.
Mm.
He's pro-choice.
He tried his best, dude.
Afghanistan
For what
withdrawal.
the hand that he was dealt, he tried his
Yeah,
best.
incapable trait. Yeah.
He was too old, yeah, incapable. But then that's like presidential tier list. What's his morality? You think he's racist? I don't know. He looks like he
Joe
hates black
Biden's not
people.
racist. Joe Biden's not racist, bro. What?
He was Obama's vice president, right? Or Bush's?
Yeah.
He was someone's vice
Not,
president.
but see, no.
It was Obama.
Oh, it was Obama. Yeah.
Yeah. You
I
okay,
put him
buddy?
like a compromise, baby.
Compromise?
Yeah.
What's wrong with him to be in compromise? Like
No, it's just
Nixon's
like
scandal?
it's nothing good, nothing bad. I mean, pardoning his son. I mean,
Is that it though?
face justice. I guess that's it. I mean, pro-choice. You know.
Put him in just then. Remember, this is morality tier list. There's
Just.
nothing. I don't like Biden, all right? Just because he's an old yucker, he didn't do nothing. But he was a nice guy. He wasn't bad. He wasn't a bad person. He wasn't evil. He wasn't ill-tempered. He wasn't, like all these bad CK3 traits.
I mean,
Yep.
did he support gender affirming care for minors?
Didn't he give out a bunch of money to the people during COVID? People will argue he gave out too much government money, right?
I mean, it's not really. He expressed support for gender affirming care for minors.
Oh, that's where they get the transgender?
Yeah, minors. That's terrible.
That is bad. That's a Democrat idea. I don't think that's Joe Biden. An old yucker like that would probably not be too kind to, have his son turn into a woman. So I'm sure that's the Democrats pulling the strings on him.
Okay, I'd put him in compromise though. Maybe like
You think at the bottom of compromise?
Right
What's
there.
wrong with him?
I
Look
mean,
at all the other guys who are in compromise and tell me what they
Gender
did
affirming
as
care?
opposed to what he didn't do.
okay. Right, what about here? Right in the middle. Maybe even
Hold on a second.
right there. Number 3. So what's that? Poor kids
He
could be
tried his
educated-
best.
Wait, this guy said poor kids could be as educated as white kids. That's what Joe Biden said. Guy quoted him.
Yeah, he's an old yucker, dude. He's probably got
Yeah.
roots in some
I
kind of
put him third
racism.
place at compromise.
I think I'm fine with that.
This is
If
tier
he
list.
did sign a bill to have kids get their gender reassignment, that's horrible. Like minors, you shouldn't be able to do that until you're over 18. I'd
Yeah, that
argue
is
21,
disgusting.
dude. You can't smoke cigarettes or drink alcohol until you're 21. Why should I be able
You
to
can vote
cut my
when you're
dick off?
18. Yeah, okay.
I mean, it ruins lives. There's so many people who have done it and said, like, this has fucked me up in so many different ways just to feel that they are more closer to being a woman or a man. I think that's bad.
Yeah, I need to see what these guys are on about. I'll check it
Like
out.
when it starts hurting your health, that becomes a
No,
problem.
I'll see like what they feel. I'll go through this whole process just for the boys,
You're looking at what?
I'm gonna go through the process. I'll get my gender changed so you can see what it's like.
Oh, you're gonna. Yeah, I wouldn't do that, dude.
Yeah, but this is the
I get
tier
to use
list.
the bathroom again.
Okay. This is the tier list, guys. I mean, I know me and Dalton debated on abortion over there. But yeah. This is basically the tier list here.
And so, yeah, it's fucking hot over here. Need some AC. You gotta post that on the Discord now, right?
Yeah, it's on there right here.
Did you clip out the ads at the bottom? You could do you could do like the screenshot and then clip it rather than taking a whole screenshot. What we
Right.
did? There you go. Yeah.
This is it.
So Pius S tier. We got Jimmy Carter. It's Jimmy Carter, right?
Yeah, Jimmy Carter. Yep.
Abraham Lincoln, Calvin Coolidge, and John. Is John?
Quincy Adams. Quincy Adams.
There you go. Yep. Quincy Adams. And then we got John Adams.
Grant. Garfield, Eisenhower, Teddy.
I'm just looking at him
Washington
now.
Taft.
I'm tired, dude.
You can go to wait. Do you want to in stream? Or are you gonna leave right when I in stream, or like in stream first then leave?
I don't know. We'll figure that out later.
What do you think about this though? Pretty good, right?
I think it's pretty decent. I think we could have done
That's
another
fair.
tier just to further, you know, like be a little bit more specific. We could have had the traitor. I don't know if we would have talked about it more. We could have had one specific tier for Harry S. Truman for killing all those millions. Is it million? It's probably only 100,000, a couple 100,000 innocent people.
Yeah, this looks pretty good though. Yeah. Human at damnation at the bottom of it. Bro's like the worst one out of them all. He's in hell right now.
And you know who Dean Withers is?
Yeah.
I just got word that he's amazing at defending abortion. You should watch him.
I watched him fight this other guy before. I've seen his videos.
And then
but,
there was Charlie Kirk refused to speak with him because Dean Points was beating him.
but you
I
beat
think
him?
you're on the losing side. You're like the Confederates, you know, you have a chance, but
Okay.
we're gonna have to see
Really
who has the
funny.
better generals.
But I seen him debate this one dude, and I seen some clips. I don't know who won it though. I mean, some of the stuff they were saying was like above like my freaking speech level. I was like, what the
That's
hell?
above
is
your
that?
pay
Yeah,
grade.
yeah. I like yeah. That's what
I
Obama
haven't
said on
seen any of
abortion.
those videos before, but it'd probably be good to watch them. You know, so in my government class, we're going over terms and stuff. Every different unit has its different vocabulary. And the word idiot was brought up. Its Greek counterpart, idiot. I don't know if they did this recently or if it was always in the past, but what it means in politics is an idiot is a person who doesn't pay attention to what's happening in politics currently. At least to some degree, not like every day watching the news. That's fucking crazy. I would oppose people in their pursuit to watch politics very closely and get so diversified and angry about it that it affects their life, you know.
Yeah.
Like you kind of just got to live your own life at some point, you know. This is what we got from the
Yeah,
responses. Bombed
yeah.
innocent lives.
Yeah, but Trent Horn, he's a really good person at debating against abortion. So I want to see Trent Horn versus Dean Weathers.
You should use your executive privilege as future president of the United States to
Oh,
do
someone
that.
said, why is Bush Jr. not down there then? I mean, it's like,
Where's he at? He's in center, right?
no, he's at the freaking, he's almost touching it, bro. He's
Oh,
in
the very bottom of
compromise.
compromise. Well, he did a couple good things, you know.
Yeah. Nah, I mean,
Well, I don't know. Maybe our tier list isn't perfect. Obviously not.
yeah, you could debate this.
If we had Urban here,
Yeah, he'd
you
have a
know,
big help. I
that
bet
would
you
have helped
if it
out a
was
whole
just
lot.
you.
If it was just me, yeah. Or if it was just you would have been completely biased. That's
Yeah.
why we need multiple brains.
Yeah, multiple brains you gotta do.
We had the
What's the
chat
tier
help
list
out a
again?
little bit.
Yeah, we got some
Bringing up
help
some
this
things we forgot.
Yeah, this looks pretty good though.
Potato Man says, without the bombs, I may not exist. Yeah, that's the butterfly effect right there. So, you know, these things we would never know unless we're able to go back in time. But then there's the theories that if a time machine was created, it would have already happened by now. Because they like some kind of timeline junction, you know. Especially if you think about it this way with the butterfly effect. What if World War II never happened? What if Hitler never killed all them Jews? Or the gay people or the disabled, you know, what if he didn't do everything that he did? We don't know. What if? It's just big what ifs.
I mean, it's still morally wrong, but yeah, I guess.
Still morally wrong, yeah. We should add Hitler to this list. Where would you put him, Danny?
I don't know. I'm zoomed in on the screen now.
Put him in damnation, dude.
Hitler, yeah. You said Hitler?
Yeah, Hitler.
Obviously damnation, bro.
How deep into you think he would go? Yeah, he'd go way past Harry S. Truman.
Yeah, he'd be like a new tier, like if like
a couple tiers down.
Yeah, he'd be all. I mean, yeah.
What time is it? 12:30. We gotta wrap up the stream, man.
But the abortion thing.
We'll do it another time.
Yeah,
we can make it. Maybe make a stream on it.
Okay, you win.
We'll write down some notes and bring our points, and then we'll debate it.
Okay.
Do this another time. Maybe next weekend. I think I'm busy next Saturday.
Yeah, it's hard to
Sunday,
debate you when you just like to think. You just gotta say it's rather fun a way to debate like when you just say think. Like that's so stupid.
Just think. That's not a valid argument.
All right, don't leave yet. Let's in stream first. Like you just leave immediately.
I try and debate my my English teacher about having academic sources and shit where I list statistical evidence on what I'm arguing, and I'm just trying to say like appeal to what I'm saying. I'm giving valid points whether they're backed or not.
You have to back points,
read the essay.
You could say like yeah,
it
Hitler
just makes
bad.
sense.
You could
man.
say like Hitler equals bad. Like you have to give.
Exactly. Yeah,
yeah.
I don't need to say that he killed 13 million Jews.
No. What if he asked
an
an 8-year-old? He doesn't know 8 million Jews. He doesn't know.
Well, you probably wouldn't be telling an 8-year-old about Hitler because that's brutal.
Yeah,
Hitler. Yeah, he killed a lot of people. You lucky you weren't born in
no, you gotta still
Germany
have points though.
time.
You still gotta have points. You can't just say like, think.
I know. I have points on what I know, but I don't have. I don't have evidence on stuff I don't know.
You're scared. You're just scared of losing. Take the L, buddy.
I'm not scared of losing. I don't research stuff like this because I don't let it affect my life. That's why I thrive in other aspects of life rather than debating abortion because it's not what I do.
You could thrive, but also just like be a politician. Like Marcus Aurelius, just because you're like
you want to be a politician. I'm gonna be an electrical engineer. The fuck do I have to do?
Yeah, I'm fixing society, bro. I'm fixing your life.
That's great.
Or helping.
I hope you do. I hope you do. Yes, that'd be great.
Yeah, and I hope you engineer these nuts.
Okay.
All
yeah,
right,
I'm gonna be the first one to introduce cyberware, like cyberpunk. We're gonna electrify the human. We gotta end the stream, Danny.
All right, stream.
How long was it? 4 hours?
3 hours.
3 hours.
All right, stream. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for watching.
Later today, I'm gonna do another stream of political compass.
Later today, yeah. It's Saturday.
Yeah.
We're on Central Time. Political compass. Maybe I'll be there.
I think it's my 4th stream. All right, stream.
4th stream.
Let's say bye to them, Dalton. Let me pull up this.
We gotta go. It's late. Bye, stream. Bye.
Bye, stream. Bye. Bye, stream. Bye, stream. Bye, stream. Bye, stream.